Hello and welcome everyone. This is Professor Siddharth Surana. I hope you guys are doing good. मैं तो हमेशा मस्ती रहता हूँ. Welcome to episode 4 of MCQs applicable for May and November 22 exams. Approximately 1800 MCQs totally will be covered in this entire series in season 3, including all questions of ICAI till date up to May 21 RTP. The case study digest will be covered. And November 21 RTP onwards, separate lecture on the channel will be available. So last class we finished till assessment of electoral trust, and then because of shortage of time we skipped minimum alternate tax and we moved on to alternate minimum tax. So in volume 1 now we are left with only chapter 15 MAT. AMT is already over, and then we will continue further in volume 2 about search and seizure, assessment, IT authorities and all. So for the time being, first we will come to our chapter 15 minimum alternate tax, which is on page number 5050. We'll finish these questions, then we go to volume 2 directly. A company which is not a domestic company will pay income tax at a rate of, very easy, we are talking about foreign companies. Foreign companies will pay tax at a rate of 40%. Health and education cess is applicable to easiest of all assessees. Surcharge is applicable for the domestic company for AY 22-23. 7% after 1 crore. Yes, that's right. 12% after, no, 7% after 1 crore, 12% after 1 crore is wrong. 7% if the total income exceeds 1 crore but does not exceed 10 crore, and 12% if the total income exceeds 10 crore. This is the most appropriate answer, and accordingly, as per most appropriate rule, this will be your option. Surcharge applicable to a non-domestic company for AY 22-23. 5% if the total income exceeds 1 crore. No. 10 if the total exceeds 1 crore. No. 2 if the total exceeds 1 crore but does not exceed 10 crore, and 5%. So 2% and 5%. A company would be resident in India if it's an Indian company. Indian company is always resident, and any other company if it's foreign company, if place of effective management is in India. So Indian company always resident, that's also right, or foreign company, that's also right. You don't have to fulfill both conditions. It is not A and B. Any one of them, A or B, then you will be a resident in India. Rate of tax for domestic company when turnover in FY 1920 is 465 crore and the company has taken deduction of additional. See, taken deduction of additional means old regime, and old regime there are two options, 30 or 25. If the turnover was 465 crore, then your answer will be 30%. If it was up to 400 crore, then we would have taken 25%. And if it was new regime, then again we would have taken as per new regime. But this has taken additional depreciation. Company for income tax purpose includes Indian company is in the definition of company, foreign company also, institution assessed as company for any assessment year under Income Tax Act 1922. So you were a company in the past law, you continue to remain. There was Income Tax Act 1922 before 1961 for your general knowledge, and any institution declared by a general or special order by the CBDT, all organizations will be assessed to tax as company. Putin Limited is a company formed under the laws of Russia, situated in India, and it made arrangements for declaration of dividend within India. Foreign company which has made arrangement for dividend distribution in India, then it will be treated as a domestic company. Rate of income tax for domestic company when turnover in 1920 is 400 crore and the company has taken deduction. Taken deduction means old regime, and exact 400 ke upar bhi you will be eligible for 25%. Only if it is greater than 400, then it will be 30%. Surcharge for domestic company if the total income is 12 crore, matlab more than 10, then it is going to be, sorry, my bad. 12 crore is more than 10 crore. 10 crore ke baad it will be 12%. After 1 crore, 7%. After 10 crore, 12%. Surcharge of domestic company at 9.5. So exceeding 1 but not exceeding 10. In that case, it is going to be 7%. In that case, it will be 7%. Surcharge of non-domestic company at 12 crore. For non-domestic company, it is going to be 1 crore ke baad 2% and 10 crore ke baad 5%. At 9.5, therefore, it is going to be 2%. Which of the following section is not applicable to public company? Carry forward of business law 72 applicable. Depreciation applicable. 56(2)(7)(b) issue of shares to resident at a premium. Issue price is more than face value as well as fair market value. That is applicable only to closely held company. And again, gift provision is applicable to all assessees. MAT is not applicable to company doing life insurance, banking, fire insurance or electricity. Banking, insurance, electricity, all applicable except life insurance. MAT is not applicable to company doing life insurance business. Foreign company with which India has a DTAA and the company does not have PE. Foreign company with which India does not have DTAA and not required to register under any law. Not applicable to all of them. Two more companies, just like a revision I am telling you. One, if new taxation regime is opted, and two, if foreign company is opting for presumptive taxation 44B, BB, BBB, then those companies MAT is not applicable. Which of the following is a condition to get the optional tax regime under 115BAA? What are the conditions? Domestic company, decide before the due date of written filing and leave your tax benefit. So, domestic company before the due date and leave tax benefit subject to certain exceptions. Yes, all of the above. Once the option under section 115BAA is exercised, it can be changed every year. Not at all, please. Absolutely false. BAA, BAB, BAD, once taken can never change. BAC, non-PGBP can change every year, and PGBP can take new, come back to old, but cannot go to new. A Limited, a domestic company in financial year 21-22 has book profit of 1 crore 40 lakhs and NTTI of 70 lakh. What will be the income tax payable? On this book profit we will compute MAT 18.5%, Mitro, plus there will be 7% surcharge because the book profit has exceeded 1 crore. In MAT, surcharge will depend on amount of book profit and plus 4% HEC. Here, if MAT is applicable, that means the company is in old regime because new regime MAT is not applicable. And because turnover data is not given, then we have to assume 30%. So, here we will apply 30% and directly says, so on 140 it will be 18.5 plus 7 plus 4, and on 70 lakh only 30% plus 4, and normal tax or MAT whichever is higher. I have already calculated this for you. On 140, sorry, itna bada mistake kaisa kiya bro. 18.5 is the rate of AMT, 18.5 is the rate of AMT. MAT ka rate 2 years ago it got amended. Absolutely sorry. MAT ka rate is now not 18.5, it is 15. AMT ka rate is 18.5%. Sorry again. 15% plus surcharge plus HEC. So MAT ka rate 15% plus surcharge plus HEC. You will get 2336,880, and normal tax mein 30% plus this, so 2184. Normal tax or MAT out of the two, whichever is higher. Apologies again. MAT is applicable to which company? Indian company, domestic company, foreign company. MAT is applicable to all companies subject to the 5 exceptions that are given. Following will not be added back in book profit even if debited. See, we have to add only 15 and less 14. Add 15 less 14. Anything other than that we will not adjust. So, income tax we will add. DDT we will add. Surcharge and cess are part of income tax. But penalty, one big error in book profit that they have kept in 115JB, penalty paid under income tax will, under any law for that matter, gets added in the normal provisions but does not get added under MAT. Following will not be subtracted in book profit even if credited. Income tax refund, it will be subtracted. It will be subtracted because it is not taxable. So, both also is not the answer. But interest on income tax refund. Interest on income tax refund is taxable. If it is credited, it has to remain. We cannot minus. So, it will not be subtracted. Following will not be subtracted in book profit even if credited. Income tax refund will be subtracted. Interest on income tax refund will not be subtracted. We already saw. Other heads of income also will not be subtracted because other heads of income are also included in book profit. And thus B and C, if both are right, then the most appropriate answer will be D. Following will be added in book profit computation. Of course, if only debited. Deferred tax, yes, that is added. I know. You also know deferred tax, income tax, deferred tax. This interest disallowance is only under normal provisions, so this is not the answer. This disallowance is under normal. All 3 disallowances are in normal provisions. In MAT only, this is going to be added. Depreciation has to be added in book profit computation. Add as per books, less as per books excluding revaluation. And in NTTI, add as per books, less as per tax. NTTI mein kya hai depreciation? Add as per books, less as per tax. And in book profit, add as per books, less as per books excluding revaluation. So, depreciation to be added in book profit is as per books. Depreciation to be added in NTTI is also as per books. Book profit and NTTI both as per books. Depreciation to be subtracted in NTTI will be as per tax. Add as per books, less as per tax. Depreciation to be subtracted in book profit will be as per books but excluding revaluation depreciation. So, most appropriate will be C. Following will not be subtracted in book profit. Section 10, it is subtracted. 10AA is not subtracted because only section 10 exemptions are given. 10AA nahi. Royalty income of foreign company, any income where rate of tax is less than 15%, that will be subtracted. So this is also not the answer, and thus both cannot be the answer. The answer is going to be B. Amount of dividend paid or proposed by company should be done what? Whenever there is any dividend, it will be, what will we do? Added back to the computation of book profit. For a company whose insolvency application is not accepted, then the brought forward loss to be adjusted will be business loss or UAD, whichever is lower. If not accepted, then whichever is lower. If accepted, then those companies, and if the board of directors is subtracted, then those companies, they will get business loss and UAD, both of them. If insolvency application is accepted, then we will take business loss and UAD, both of them. Which of the following should be added in book profit of Indian company? Expenditure related to capital gain arising on transfer of securities. Which of the following should be added in book profit? Surcharge is also added. Provision for a certain liability will not be added, only uncertain will be added. Expenditure related to SEZ deduction, SEZ ka benefit you are not taking, so likewise you will not be adding also. So the only thing, surcharge is a part of income tax, so we will be adding it back. AO cannot question the net profit as per profit and loss account. This is the Supreme Court judgment, Apollo Tyres. Accounts are as per company law. Accounts are audited by CA. Shareholders have approved, ROC has approved, all the conditions fulfilled, then only Apollo Tyres case law will be applicable. Abhishek Limited has revaluation reserve of 1 lakh for asset which is discarded. Then what will be the adjustment? If the asset is discarded, then revaluation reserve has to be transferred to P&L, and if not transferred, then we will add back in book profit. M Limited, an Indian company, received units of business trust worth 79,000 in exchange of shares of SPV, which was acquired for 1,50,000 by M Limited. The loss of 71,000 was charged to P&L. That means at the time of exchange we have book loss. What will we do? We will add. At the time of exchange there is no loss. At the time of change in carrying value there is nothing allowed. Only an actual sale of units, we take selling price of units minus cost price of shares. Expenditure related to royalty under section 115A incurred by foreign company should be. Is that royalty subtracted? Yes, then the expense also will be added. For financial year 15-16, amount of 50,000 which was transferred to reserve and it was added back while calculating book profit. Transfer to reserve, you add back. Then now in 21-22, 10,000 is withdrawn from that reserve, and of course it will be taxable. So this time what you will have to do? You will have to less. Transfer to reserve you add, so transfer from reserve you less. If at the time of transfer to reserve you forget to add, then at the time of transfer from reserve you will not less. Otherwise you will less. While calculating book profit, amount of brought forward loss or unabsorbed depreciation, whichever is lower, has to be reduced. This brought forward loss or UAD should be as per accounts, tax, or any of them. In book profit it will be as per accounts. In tax we will take both and we will take as per tax. Which among the following adjustments will not be reduced? Exempt income under 11, 12, 13, that is reduced. Notional gain on transfer of shares, yes, notional gain will be reduced, only actual gain will be added. LTCG taxable under 112A, that's your LTCG which is taxable. That is a part of book profit because book profit contains all heads. So this will not be reduced, and royalty also is reduced. So 40C. D Private Limited has brought forward business loss and UAD 60,000, 120 respectively as per books of accounts, and as per Income Tax Act brought forward loss is 50 and UAD is 70. D Private Limited is in the process of insolvency application and it was admitted. If it was admitted, then what do we get? Loss or UAD? We get both. And which one? We will not get as per tax, we will get as per accounts. While calculating book profit, how much loss will be reduced from book profit? First of all, as per tax, as per accounts, and normally it is whichever is lower. But if insolvency application is admitted, then you will get the deduction of both of them. While calculating book profit, amount was withdrawn from reserve which is not credited to P&L. Then what will you do? What will you do in the calculation of book profit? If you credit to the P&L, that means you have increased the profit, then you will have to less. But if you have not credited, that means you have not increased the profit, then you don't need to give any effect. Capital reserve or securities premium existing on convergence date as per erstwhile Indian accounting standards, which is reclassified to retained earnings other reserves under Ind AS, shall for the purpose of transition amount. Whenever we compute our transition amount in Ind AS adjustments, capital reserve and securities premium are to be ignored. And then there are other 6 points which we will ignore right now, but we will take in the year of sale. But these two are ignored forever. Gain or losses for investment in equity instruments designated at fair value through other comprehensive income recorded in OCI should be adjusted when equity instruments and fair value, both of them you should take in the year in which that equity instrument is going to be sold. So current year you will not take it, you will take in the year of sale. In case of Ind AS compliant company, book profit of the year of convergence and the 4 following years shall be increased or decreased by how much? We are doing it 5 years, 1/5 of the transition amount. Every company to which 115 JB applies shall furnish along with return a report from whom? Up tak to it is only chartered accountant. In the coming days, they may take this statutory power away from you. As of now, report of CA holding COP. Under Ind AS, investment in preference shares is considered to be liability and corresponding dividend expenses debited to P&L account as interest cost. What will you do with that interest cost? Though you call it interest cost, but is it dividend? And if it is dividend, then you will have to increase your book profit. Barrack Limited, foreign company engaged in shipping business, and therefore profits are taxable under presumptive, which is opted by the assessee. Whether MAT is applicable? If it is opted, then MAT is not applicable. Presumptive opt nahi kiya hota, then MAT will be applicable. MAT is not applicable to foreign company with India does not have a DT. Does not have a DTAA. Dekho. Has a DTAA, then no P. Does not have a DTAA, that means not required to register under any law. So not required to register under any law. In case of company being unit located in IFSC, MAT will be applicable, but what rate? At a concessional rate of 9%. Excess realized on sale of land is credited. Then while calculating book profit, what will you do? Will you give any effect? No. Book profit covers all 5 heads of income. No effect. Income arising to a company from dash will not be subjected to MAT. Banking subjected, electricity subjected, but life insurance business not subjected to MAT. MAT is not applicable to foreign company with which we have a DTAA agreement only if we have a DTAA, then no P in India. No DTAA, no registration. Yes, DTAA, the company should not have a permanent establishment in India. State whether following statements are true or false. If provisions of MAT are applicable, then 234 ABC not applicable. Rubbish. 234 will be applicable ABC interest. In fact, you have to pay tax, advance tax as your normal tax or MAT, whichever is higher. Tax credit under MAT is allowed to be carried forward for how many years? Very easy. 15 years. MAT, AMT both. Tax credit under MAT can be set off against any income. Rubbish. Set off against MAT paid in the next year. No. Set off against normal income tax payable to the extent it does not exceed the final tax liability as per MAT, to the extent of excess of tax payable over tax payable on the book profit. So 56 ka answer C. Provision for doubtful debts is debited. What will you do? Is it an actual loss? No. Expected loss. The expected loss will have to be added back. Manan Private Limited paid MAT of 242 in 2021, where income tax was 194. That means MAT was higher. In FY 21-22, as per income tax, it is 210, and as per MAT, it is 179. So what is the credit of MAT to be set off? First check what is the credit. 194 and 242. That means for 6 and 42. 48,000 is your credit. So brought forward MAT credit is 48. You will want to adjust against the normal tax 48, but just check what is the difference. Maximum utilization can be to the extent of difference. I think 21 and 10, 31,000. So you will not be able to adjust entire 48,000. This year you will be adjusting only 31,000, and the remaining 17,000, which is unutilized, can be carried forward because we get 15-year carry forward. In case of conversion of private company into LLP, what will happen to the tax credit? If your company is converting, you are no longer a company, your tax credit is going to lapse. X Limited, a domestic company, has total income of, please focus on the amount carefully, company has total income of 10 crore 1 lakh. 1 crore 1 lakh nahi hai, 10 crore 1 lakh for AY 22-23. The gross receipts of previous year 19-20 is 390 crores. The tax liability of company for AY 22-23, if the company has taken deduction of additional depreciation. मतलब this is on normal tax calculation, not MAT. Additional depreciation का deduction लिया है, मतलब once we can conclude company is in old regime. See, if the company had not taken any deduction, company was in new regime, then we would have directly applied 25.16 set or 17.16, life would have been easy. But company is in old regime, and in old regime basic tax there are two options, 30 or 25. This will help you. Here if you apply 30 on this, you are gone. If you apply new regime, you are gone. It is going to be 25%. On 10 crore 1 lakh, we will apply 25%. But will that give you your final answer? No. We will have to add search. I think kids will at least understand this much, that if income has exceeded 10 crore rupees, then mind will tell you that we have to add surcharge of 12%. Domestic company after 10 crore 12%. So you will add, you'll apply 25% basic, you will add 25 के ऊपर 12% surcharge and 4% cess. Khatam, tata, finish, bye bye, gaya. Please focus. Our assessee has got income of 10 crore 1 lakh. We apply basic tax 25%. Why are we calculating 25%? Because turnover 2 years ago was up to 400 crore. So we will apply 25%. We'll get 2 crore 50 lakh 25,000. You can apply 10 crore 1 lakh ke upar and you'll find out. When you add 12% surcharge on this, the total that you get is 2 crore 80 lakh 28,000. And you may end up applying cess on this amount, then it will be disastrous. Because on surcharge, the assessee will be eligible for marginal relief. Whenever your income is crossing the surcharge limit by a small extent, it is your duty to check marginal relief. If the assessee had income of exact 10 crore, then basic tax will be 2 crore 50 lakhs, 25%, no? And then surcharge will be only 7% because more than 1 up to 10, more than 1 up to 10, so 7%. So any assessee with exact 10 crore will have this basic and this surcharge total 267,50,000. 267,50,000. That means an assessee who has got income of exact 10 crore, basic tax plus surcharge will come to 267,50, and assessee who has got 1 lakh extra, you are getting 2 crore 80 lakh, near about 13 lakh increase in tax. Your income has exceeded only by 1 lakh, then your tax cannot exceed by 13 lakh. The maximum difference between these two incomes will be 1 lakh. Your difference cannot be more than 1 lakh. So if this is 267.50, this can be 268.50. The concept of marginal relief, the difference in tax which is coming to about 13 lakh, it cannot be more than 1 lakh. Maximum difference will be the difference in income, and thus we will subtract the difference. We don't need to find out that amount. After marginal relief, you should know the difference is 1 lakh. So 267 plus 1 lakh, 268, and on that 1 lakh if you add 4%, you will get 279, 24,000, and any other option. Now those who do 280 plus 280, 28,000 and add 4%, one of the options will match. But I hope you have understood that that's not how you will approach. Are we clear on this? Marginal relief got tested here in this question. Question 61. Atlanta Airlines Incorporated as a company in USA operated its flights to India and vice versa during 21-22 and collected charges of 280 crores for carriage of passengers and car. Total turnover is 280 crores. Foreign airlines turnover is important because I would like to remind you under presumptive taxation. Now this is a provision of PGBP which is being tested here. For shipping business of non-resident 7.5% and for airline business 5%. So we will apply 5% on turnover. But what falls in turnover? Any receipt in India and commencement of journey in India. Receipt in India, start of journey in India. Then that will be included. For 280 crore is the total, out of which 100 crore was received in US dollar for passenger fare from Atlanta to Delhi. That won't be counted. That means can I say 280 mein se we will remove 100 crores. But out of this 100 crores, 40 crore is received in India. Matlab we cannot remove full 100. We will remove only 60, or you can do minus 100 plus 40. Do you understand? So 280 crore is total. Remove 100, but add back 40. So 280 minus net 60. 220 crore is the eligible turnover or the liable turnover of that presumptive rate. Expenses in presumptive are going to be irrelevant, of course. So what we are going to do on that 220 that we are getting, we will directly apply the presumptive rate of 5%. What will be the effective rate of income tax? They are asking the rate of income tax. 220 is turnover. 280 will not be taken because foreign turnover we have to exclude. Indian turnover includes journey commencement in India and money received in India. So 280 minus 100 plus 40. 220. On that we apply 5%. वो turnover के ऊपर we apply 5%. So we get taxable income. On that taxable income we calculate tax. And they are asking us the effective rate of tax. How will you calculate it? Total turnover 280, remove 100, 180, but add back 40 which is received in India. 220 पे when you apply the presumptive rate of 5%, the net income is 11 crore. When the income of a foreign company is 11 crore, what is the rate of tax? Basic is 40. After 10 crore, surcharge will become 5%. So you need to know this surcharge. So you need to know that what is included in the definition of turnover. Without that, you will not answer. Then once you get this, then you need to know that airline business it is 5%, shipping it is 7.5. Then you will get this. Then after this, you need to know foreign company ka basic is 40, not 30. Then you also need to know that after 1 crore 2%, but after 10 crore 5%. Says, of course, I assume that you will not forget. 40 plus 5 plus 4, the effective tax rate of this foreign company will become 43.68%. That is the rate which will be the effective rate. True or false? There is only one rate of MAT in India. False, because IFSC ke upar we are going to apply. As we are aware, for IFSC we will be applying 9%. Rate of MAT is different for domestic and non-domestic. Rubbish. Domestic non-domestic is same. Rubbish. False bola. Rubbish hai. Domestic non-domestic is same. Rubbish bola. False hai. Only IFSC ka rate is different. Which of the following shall not be added back to the profits? Provision for income tax, it is added. Interest on income tax, added. Penalty is not added. Tax and interest are added, only penalty is not added. In order to opt for new taxation regime under 115BAB, the company should be incorporated on or after 1st October 2019. These are conditions of BAB. It's like a revision, you need to know that without options also. In order to opt for new regime under 115BAB, company should commence manufacturing on or before, incorporate up to 1st October 31st on or after 1st October 19 and start manufacturing up to 31st March 23. For 115BAB, company should be in manufacturing. For this purpose, manufacturing includes, remember there are some exclusions given, development of software, mining, conversion of marble blocks into slabs, bottling of gas into cylinder, printing of books. So this is excluded, this is excluded, this is excluded. Only this will be treated as manufacturing. In order to offer new regime, company should be manufacturing. Manufacturing does not include, electricity is included, printing of books is not included, manufacturing of plastic is included. So it cannot be both, it is only going to be printing of books. For a company opting for 115BAB, income other than business income shall be taxable. Business income is the only income which will go in 15 plus 10 plus 4. Other income will go as per 115BAA ka rate, that is 22, except chapter 12 which will apply as we are. In order to avail 115BAA, the option has to be exercised on or before due date of which year? From when you want to start or first year compulsory. Is 115BAA to be opted in the very first year? No. 115 not necessary first year. Whenever you want the option, you can exercise. But what is the rule for BAB? If you want to opt for BAB, you have to decide in your first ROI. If you don't decide in your first ROI, you will lose the option forever. BAA can be taken at any time, but BAB has to be taken in the first year itself. And then we have a new case study from question 72 to 75. DEF incorporation, a company incorporated under the laws of country A, is engaged in management consultancy services and has set up a branch office in India. So foreign company having a branch office in India. During the year, it earns the following incomes in India. Fees for technical services 75 lakh from ABC Limited, an Indian company, in pursuance of an agreement which is approved by central government. The tax rate on such income under India and country A treaty is 10% on gross income. And the fees for technical services is not connected with the branch office in India. Matlab, let's be clear. First of all, it's a foreign company from country A. India does have a treaty. They are giving you the treaty clause. Rate of tax on FTS as per the treaty is 10% on gross income. Means no deduction of expense. And the company also has a branch office in India. Matlab, listen. If I ask you, is MAT applicable? Foreign company. Yes, DTAA. Is there PE? Yes, there is PE. That means MAT is applicable. If there was no PE, then MAT was not applicable. But the company has a branch in India, so MAT is going to be applicable. And as far as this FTS is concerned, if you remember, normal rate of tax in India is 10% on FTS under 115A. But is per DTAA it is also 10%. So doesn't matter, no, normal or DTAA same, no. एक लाफा देगा खींच के. If you opt as per 115A, it is subjected to surcharge and cess. But if you go as per DTAA, there will be no cess. So normal rate of tax is also 10, DTAA rate also given 10. Normal also no deduction of expense, DTAA also no deduction of expense. But normal mein cess will be added. So we will prefer to pay tax as per DTAA. So we have already got two answers. One, MAT is applicable, and second, this FTS will be taxable as per DTAA without cess and without deduction of expense. Incurred expense of 3 lakh. Now we know we have to ignore. Sale of shares of Bottle Private Limited, an Indian company, for 2 crore 60 lakh on the stock market. So other than FTS, it also has sold some shares, and there is other income of 10 lakh. All above incomes have been credited in the P&L account. DEF Incorporation has made investment in 100% equity share capital of Bottle Limited, purchased at 175 in 2004. That means, listen, we are 100% owners of this company. We purchased in 2004 at 175 and today we are selling at 260. The said shares were purchased out of foreign exchange of USD 350. Means the shares were acquired in convertible foreign exchange. You should know this. Whenever a foreign company will sell shares, they are forex asset, and for this sale, if you go as per 112 also, the tax rate is going to be 10% without the benefit of indexation. So we will take 2 crore 60 minus 175 and capital gain will be taxable at 10%. So what is the tax rate on FTS? 10% as per treaty. So no cess. On capital gain, 10% without benefit of indexation, because non-resident, no benefit of indexation. That is why we are giving concessional rate. And other income, it's a foreign company, so normal rate of tax 40% will apply. From the above information, choose the most appropriate answer. In the context of provision of 115JB, state which of the following statement is correct. Provision of 115JB do not get attracted since it's a foreign company. Foreign company has MAT with exceptions. DTAA, no PE, no DTAA, no registration, and presumptive if opted. It's a case of DTAA, but it has PE. So MAT is applicable. Provisions of 115JB do not get attracted. Wrong answer. Provisions of 115JB are attracted since it's a resident of a country with which India has a DTAA and the branch office constitutes a permanent establishment. Has a PE. So this is our answer. Are attracted since provisions are applicable to every company. No. Because there is PE, then MAT is going to be applicable. MAT is applicable only because there is PE. What is the rate at which fees for technical services received by DEF is chargeable to tax? Now, you may want to say, sir, chargeable to tax 115A के हिसाब से 72 तो नहीं, no deduction of expense. 115A के हिसाब से we will apply 10% plus cess 10.4. That is where the importance of DTAA comes. In DTAA, there is no cess. So, you will pay as per normal 10.4 or DTAA, whichever is beneficial. In respect of sale of shares of Bottle Private Limited, which of the following statements is correct? Transaction of sale of shares of Bottle Private Limited is subject to transfer pricing since it is holding 26% or more. Arey bhai, you have sold those shares. So, you have to do transaction with your associated enterprise for transfer pricing to be applicable. So, of course, it is wrong. Sale of shares of Bottle Private Limited shall not be considered as transfer because you are holding. No, transfer from holding to holding 100% subsidiary is not a transfer. I am not selling to Bottle. I am selling shares of Bottle. Wrong. Capital gain arising on sale of shares shall be taxable at 20% with indexation or 10% without indexation. Ladies and gentlemen, non-residents do not get the option of indexation. 10% without benefit of indexation is your only answer. 10% without indexation is your only answer. Which of the following statement is correct, assuming that the rates specified in DTAA are same as provided under the Act? Rate as per DTAA are same as provided under the Act. Normally that is not true, but they are asking you to assume. So, ठीक है. मतलब DTAA rate and Income Tax Act का rate is same. Only capital gain has to be reduced in computing book profit. एक बात बताता हूँ. Foreign company का, I'll remind you one of the 29 adjustment. This question is testing you on that. There is an adjustment that whenever a foreign company has got the following incomes: royalty, FTS, capital gain, or as per amendment now dividend also. Royalty, FTS, capital gain, dividend. Royalty, FTS, capital gain, dividend. Any of these four incomes, royalty, FTS, capital gain, dividend, if the tax rate is lower than 15%, lower than the rate of MAT, then MAT is not applicable. So, capital gain is taxable at 10%, lower than 15%. And FTS is also taxable at lower than 10%, lower than 15%, that is 10%. So, both will be subtracted. Accordingly, only capital gain has to be reduced. Wrong answer. Only FTS has to be reduced. Wrong answer. Both capital gain and FTS have to be reduced because both of them have lower than 15% का tax rate, both of them have to be reduced. Capital gain, FTS and other income का rate will be 40, no. Other income के लिए there is no special rate. So this does not have to be reduced. Only capital gain and fees for technical services has to be reduced. That was our case study of MAT, recent case study, and that's our chapter minimum alternate tax. AMT का chapter तो we had already completed in the last class. तो हम लोग आगे जाएंगे. We now start volume 2 of our portion. More of theory, very less of solving. So the speed will be fast because solving वाले में I have to explain the step that you can miss. In theory there is less explanation. Once you have studied the portion and revised everything, there is less explanation, to be very honest. Okay. So sorry, we will directly go to the questions and we may be able to cover a good number of chapters in today's class itself. Circulars are binding. किसके ऊपर? Of course, department, not assessing. So it cannot be both. Department के ऊपर circulars are going to be binding. Principal Commissioner, if authorized by board, can appoint income tax authorities from the rank of. From which rank Principal Commissioner will appoint? From the rank of deputy. Joint Commissioner तक नहीं, from the rank of deputy. Actually, the impact of this in practical life and the impact as per section का theory is a little different, but here you can choose deputy onwards they will be appointing. Practical life में assistant तक वो appointment होता है by UPSC exams. Okay. Who appoints income tax authorities? First answer will always be central government. CBDT is functioning under which ministry? Under the Ministry of Finance. CBDT can authorize income tax authority by general and special order to admit an application for exemption, deduction, refund to avoid what? Tax, punishment, corruption? नहीं. Any genuine hardship वाले cases में. If an assessee officer has jurisdiction over one area, he will have jurisdiction over person carrying on business profession of that area. Of course, देखो jurisdiction से related all questions in the coming years are going to be totally useless. जब India will become 100% faceless. As of now, some of these questions are relevant. I have just not removed them from the book. Okay. Relative of person carrying on business and profession even if they are not in the area. Rubbish. Distance up to 8 kilometers. Also rubbish. Any person carrying on business or profession in that area. Powers of CBDT are control and supervise officers. वो right है. Punish officers नहीं. उसके लिए नहीं बना. Make rules, yes. Relax provisions, yes. Interfere with CIT appeals, no. That power is not allowed. So 1, 3 and 4. किधर है 1, 3, 4 in option B. CBDT circulars are not binding on. इनमें से किसी के ऊपर नहीं. CBDT circulars are binding only on department, not binding on assessee. I hope you understand. Not binding on any of these organizations. If assessing officer has jurisdiction over one area, he will not have jurisdiction. Person carrying on business profession within that area, he has. So wrong. Not वाला ढूंढना है. Any other business located in other area of the person whose main business is located in the jurisdiction. अगर assessee is in my area, I have jurisdiction over all his offices. So नहीं. Person residing within area, I have jurisdiction. We have to find out not having jurisdiction. Relatives, of course. Just because I have jurisdiction over one person does not mean I have jurisdiction over relatives. When one officer is succeeded by another, opportunity of being heard will be provided. Suo motu or application by assessee? Only if it is application by assessee. Transfer of case may be made at any stage of the proceeding and it is not necessary. If transfer of case is made, that means officer is changing, then it will not be necessary to issue any notice that has already been issued. If there is transfer of case from one officer to other, any notice issued will not be issued again. Mr. Jingur Kumar's case was transferred from one assessing officer to another officer within the same city without giving opportunity of being heard. If it was transferred within the same city without being opportunity of being heard, which of the following status is correct? देखो, again I am telling you, jurisdiction से related provisions are not relevant anymore in income tax. You don't have to study, but for your knowledge I am telling you that if the transfer is within the same city, as per earlier provisions, it was going to be treated as a valid transfer. Invalidity will happen if you don't give opportunity for transfer in another city. But once we have faceless, you don't know the officer, you don't know the city of the officer. These questions are going to become irrelevant in the near future. Which of the powers is available to IT authorities? Discovery and inspection, summons, books of accounts, of course, all of them. Income tax authority has powers vested in civil court. Which of the power is not covered? Discovery and inspection is covered, not covered. Compelling the assessee not to go anywhere. Can they tell you that you can't go anywhere? No, this they don't have. Issuing commission they have. Enforcing attendance they have. So none of the above cannot be the answer. B is going to be your answer. That's your chapter, IT authorities. Not wasting time. Moving on. Search, seizure and survey. What are the reasons of conducting search? You do not produce books of accounts if given. If they call for, then they can conduct search. Document nahi diya. If you do not have, if you have undisclosed money, bullion, jewelry, not disclosed. If you have not disclosed, all the cases search can be conducted. Books of accounts seized under search can be returned, should be returned within 30 days. See, 131 में 15 days है, survey में 15 days है, but in search it is 30 days from order. Under 132, which of the following asset cannot be seized? Money can be seized, bullion can be seized, but jewelry in the form of stock in trade cannot be seized. Copy of reason for search will be provided to whom? Assessee को नहीं, CIT appeals नहीं, ITSC नहीं. Copy of reasons will be given only to High Court. Which of the following is the power of income tax authority during search and seizure? Seize valuables? Yes, he has the power. Break open lock? Yes, he has the power. Arrest person who has concealed. Seize valuables which are a part of stock in trade bola. My bad. Stock in trade bola. He does not have the power. Break open the lock. He has the power. Arrest does not have the power. Seal business premises. This power not available. This power not available. Only the power be break open locks. I'll just remind you as a revision, there are 3 powers not available to search part. You cannot seize stock. Khali valuable hua, fixed asset hua, you can seize. But stock in trade likha na, so you need to pay attention. Stock in trade cannot be seized. Arrest not allowed. And sealing of business premises not allowed. But break open lock if key is not provided allowed. What is a prohibitory order? Prohibitory order kya hota hai? Deemed seizure, constructive seizure. That asset will be physically with you, but you will not be allowed to do anything. Order where restriction are placed on person not to go outside the country. Restriction is on asset. Order wherein valuable article or thing which cannot be physically taken, cannot be removed except with the permission. Yehi hai, but let's read. Order where no entry in books should be made. Rubbish. Order when no stock in trade should be removed. No. Order when any asset which cannot be seized, you cannot use it. During search under 132, rebuttable means you can prove it to be wrong. Otherwise, they will presume. Books of accounts belong to the assessee. Yes. Contents are true. Yes. Signature or handwriting of the person of whom it appears. All of the above. Additional or joint commissioner can give authorization. Never or always? No. Additional and joint can give if they are empowered by the CBDT. Application for release of seized assets has to be made. Now some of these points are some time limits which are given in search and seizure. When you give an explanation, so they will give back your assets within 120 days, otherwise they will give you interest. These time limits are, honestly speaking, not important for study of your subjective provisions. But in MCQs you cover this, therefore your job will be done. You have to give your explanation within a period of 30 days from the end of the month of seizure. When would provisional attachment of property cease to have effect? The time limit for which provisional attachment is applicable is 6 months from the date of order. If amount of seized asset exceeds the liability, eventually the assessee shall be entitled to simple interest. Whenever assessee will get, whenever they will charge at 1%, but whenever they will pay only at 0.5%. On the basis of which of the following will income tax authority release the seized asset? When will they release? When you give your satisfactory explanation about the source. So payment of dues nahi, payment of money nahi, genuine hardship nahi, on explanation of the nature and source. On receipt of application for release of assets and explanation of nature and source of acquisition of asset, asset should be released. The time limit given for this is 120 days. So these are small time limits, may not be otherwise important, but if you do it from here, your job is done. Under 133A, when can income tax authority enter into business premises? Business premises when it is open for business, and other places between sunrise and sunset. Yaad aaya? So business premises only during the hours when it is kept open for business. Under 133A, survey can be conducted where? Any place of business? Yes. Any place where charitable activity is conducted? Yes. At a residential house always, ye word important hai. Always nahi. Residential house only if books are kept. So if the question is saying always, your answer will be no. That means A is right, B is right, but C is not right. If C is not right, then all 3 cannot be your answer. Only A and B, but not C. The most appropriate answer will turn out to be your option D. Survey can be conducted at any place of business. Yes. Place where charitable activity is being conducted. Yes. Residential house if books are kept. Yes. So this time all 3 are allowed, and thus the most appropriate answer will become E. Income tax authorities have power under 133 to call for information from whom? Only assessee or his relatives? No. Anyone for whom it is relevant to the proceeding. Where no proceeding is pending, information under 133 cannot be exercised by income tax authority below the rank of, if proceeding is pending then he can call, but if proceedings are over then it has to be minimum CIT or higher. So below CIT not allowed. CIT and director are same, so we can say you cannot call it for by a rank. Anybody who is of a rank lower than CIT cannot call for it. Which of the following is a power of IT authority under 133A for purpose of TDS TCS? TDS ka survey na, TDS ka survey will not be allowed to enter into all the details, only place identification marks. They have got nothing to do with fixed asset or current asset or stock. TDS is all about payment पे TDS काटा क्या नहीं काटा, time पे deposit किया क्या नहीं किया, only that survey. So they will only make identification marks, nothing else. Notice is required to be issued under which of the following circumstances? मतलब notice देना पड़ेगा, search करने के पहले notice देगा, पागल है क्या? No, it is surprise. Survey also surprise. Door to door survey also no need to inform in prior. We can come and ask you to fill up form 45D. 133B is also called as power for collecting information. Be careful. Either they can use the term door to door survey or they can use the term power of collecting information. That means they are referring to this. Only this prescribed IT authority notice will be given. Which of the following is not a power of IT authority for the purpose of survey? Place identification mark is a power. हमको क्या ढूंढना है? Not a power. Impound and retain books is a power. Books can be seized for 15 working days. Make inventory of cash, they can note down. Yes, it's a power. But can they take away assets? Survey में asset लेके जाना allowed नहीं है. For the authorization of search warrant by additional commissioner, he should be authorized by whom? Can additional pass on his authorization? Yes, but only if he is authorized by the CBDT. All proceedings before income tax authority are going to be considered as judicial, not civil proceeding. All proceeding will be treated as judicial proceeding. During the search and seizure under 132, assessing officer finds any paper which is related to person on which AO does not have jurisdiction. What action he will take? अगर कभी भी search and survey में दूसरे का पेपर मिला, hand it over to the AO having jurisdiction over that assessee. Hand over to the AO who has got jurisdiction over that assessee. Cash or asset can be seized under which section? 131 में तो summons है, not allowed. Survey में not allowed. Door to door survey में not allowed. Cash or asset can be seized only in case of search. Under section 132, search was carried out, Mr. M, on 20th December 2016. After 15 December 16. During search, assessee admitted concealment of 50 crore. Filing return of income in response to notice of 148. अभी search का notice भी 148 में आएगा. Search and reassessment have been merged. M did not declare the said income. Then what will be the penalty excluding surcharge and sales? What will be the penalty? When you declare during search, then it will be 30%. And then if you don't declare at all in the return, you have not declared 60% of your undisclosed income. Undisclosed income ka 60% and undisclosed income ka 60% is going to be 30 crore. An AO entered a hotel run by a person in respect of whom he exercises jurisdiction at 8:30 PM for the purpose of, ये वो hidden hint है. अगर collecting information बोला मतलब 133B. Even if they use the word survey or anything, if they say collecting information, मतलब they are referring to 133B, which may be useful. The hotel is kept open every day between 8 AM to 8 PM. As per 133B, तो लिखा भी है उन्होंने. If they don't mention, still you should know. This is as per 133B. AO cannot enter after sunset. He can enter during business hours. Wrong. AO can enter and take away books of accounts. Take away books of accounts is allowed in 133A. In 133B, he can enter and make you fill up form 45D. No other power. So wrong. AO can enter the premises and take away the books of accounts. Wrong. AO can enter the premises but not take away books of accounts because this is 133B. In course of search operation under 132 in the month of May 21, Akash makes a declaration under 132 on earning not disclosed for previous year 2021. He also explains the manner in which he derived the income and pays tax together with interest and declares also in return of income. Is penalty leviable? That means you admit your concealment, you declare and you pay tax. Still you don't get immunity. Not declaring means 60% of your undisclosed income. If you declare, you still pay penalty but at 30%. So if you declare then 30%, if you don't declare then 60% is going to be your penalty. In course of search operation under 132 in May 21, Hari makes a declaration on earning income 2021 not disclosed in books of accounts. He explains the manner in which income was derived and pays the tax together with interest in respect of such income. However, does not disclose in the return. So, if you don't disclose, then you become a case of 60% penalty. The AO under 133A bola this time within his jurisdiction surveyed a popular cyber cafe at 1 AM in night for the purpose of collecting information which may be useful for the purpose of income tax act. The cyber cafe is kept open between 2 PM and 2 AM. मतलब रात को 2 बजे तक till night 2 o'clock it is open and I am going at 1 o'clock. He impounded and retained in custody books of accounts after recording reasons for doing so for 12 days. Which of the following statements is correct? Now when they are asking you about 133A, first of all, he can enter. Is it allowed to enter after sunset? Yes. If business premises, then working hours. It is open, so I can enter. Enter is right, and 133A mein taking away books of accounts for 15 days is also valid in law. That means he is correct in entering and he is also correct in taking. So, the AO's action in entering and impounding books are in order. This only appears likely. एक बार देख लेते लेकिन other options. AO's not in order. Wrong answer. AO's action at entering at 1 AM and impounding books are not in order. Wrong option. AO's action in entering cyber cafe is in order, but impounding books is not in order. No, wrong option. वैसे ही मालूम था. Starting only I told you. In 133, both powers are allowed. So it is in order. In case of search and seizure, which of the following statement अभी ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. Which of the following statement you are asked to identify not correct. मतलब correct statement is wrong answer, not correct statement is right answer. समझा क्या? Assessee can make an application to AO within 30 days from the end of the month in which asset was seized for release. It's a correct thing. Yes, you can get your asset back. So wrong answer. We have to find out not. AO has to release the explained asset within 120 days. Yes, अगर explain किया तो he has to. Search can take place after business hours. हाँ, residential house between sunrise and sunset. Business बंद हो गया लेकिन house before sunset you can come. So it's a right statement. Wrong answer. If assessee proves that seized asset do not belong to him, then also the asset will be presumed to. नहीं prove किया तो not allowed. And वैसे भी only one option is left. Which of the following liability cannot be recovered under 132B out of the assets seized? Cannot be recovered. Existing liabilities can be recovered. So wrong. Liabilities upon completion of assessment of search can be recovered. Liabilities on settlement commission का decision can be recovered. मगर current year का advance tax liability cannot be recovered. Which of the following statement? Again क्या बोला? Not correct. Search करो. Not correct. So correct statement. Wrong answer. Reason for conducting search cannot be disclosed to any person or appellate tribunal. Right. Only high court we will tell. So wrong answer. Search can be conducted even after business hours, even at midnight. Search can be conducted even after business hours, even at midnight. If the premises are open, then they can conduct the search. If the premises are open, then they can conduct the search. In case of search, मतलब सुनो कहने का मतलब you may get a wrong feeling. You may say that sir, after business hours is not allowed. और residential house हुआ तो midnight on allowed. मतलब effectively ये option wrong है. But let me explain what this option has meant. If you have not understood. Okay. After business hours मतलब जो transaction करना है customer का आने का time is over. Customers are not coming. But business premises are kept open for. अभी CA firm में you see no. Clients don't come. But at 12 o'clock in the night also people are working. There is some CA student who is working either in his home studying or in his office doing articleship at midnight always. If premises are open, they can come. So statement is correct and therefore wrong option. In case of search, all assets can be seized excluding stock in trade. Correct? Hai? So wrong option. IT authorities shall give a reasonable opportunity. Joke. Hai. Will they inform you before coming for search? Rubbish. Which of the following statement this time they ask correct in relation to power of an IT authority to collect information bola. Power to collect information bola. Which of the statement is correct under power to collect information? IT authority matlab we are talking about 133B. Power to collect information matlab 133B. IT authority can enter place of business only after sunrise and sunset. No. If it is kept open, he can come. IT authority may enter only during hours at which it is kept open. ये right है. IT authority may impound and retain in custody for a period not exceeding. अगर ये 133 होता तो this would have been right answer 133A, but this is 133B, so wrong. Income tax authority can no account remove or cause to remove the books of accounts in 133B. देखो इस is the importance of knowing collect information मतलब 133B and 133B में impound power is not available. So 2 and 4 are our correct answers and thus the option to be chosen will be option D. And now case study based question, 2 questions 35-36. Mr. Manish engaged in business of gold jewelry, मतलब वो उसका stock है. Search was conducted in the business premise on 20th December 21. Authorization was issued one day before, that is 19 December. During search, authorized officer seized some books of accounts. Search में seizure तो allowed है. At time of search, assessments of 143.3, that means regular assessment of ये दोनों pending था and reassessment of AY 17-18 was also pending. देखो search होता है तो there will be some cases which are order are not yet passed, no? Order is yet to be passed, no? So now the assessing officer has to complete the search assessment in how much time? Till last year का अगर आप आंसर देखोगे ना तो search का time limit was 21 months, 18 months and all this thing. But now I would like to just tell you one thing that search and reassessment दोनों का order 147 में pass होगा. Search का order will be passed under 147. Search and reassessment are merged. जाके watch revision का amendment lecture. And thus time limit of search order will be same as reassessment order. वो 153 ABC are gone now. And what is the time for passing 147 का order? 9 months from the end of the year in which the notice was served. 9 months from the end of the year in which the notice was served. But yes, just one correction over here. If any notice of reassessment is searched on or after 1/4/19, the question should give you one more option. 9 months or it can also be 12 months. In certain cases, it can also be 12 months. It can be 9 months or it can be 12 months also under certain cases. Okay. But the other 3 options are no longer relevant because 153 ABC are now deleted. What would be the fate of the pending assessment? There are some assessments which are already going on and reassessment proceedings. What will happen? When the AO will assess you, he will assess you for all the years together. Under search ka order, he is going to cover all the years together. And because he will cover all the years together, so in that he will merge the regular assessment, the reassessment under the search assessment together mix करके he will pass the order and then in that case what will happen? जो ongoing assessment proceeding था वो cancel हो जाएगा. And in the order that I will pass under 147, this order will include the regular assessment which was pending merge हो जाएगा, the reassessment which was pending. So the regular and reassessment proceeding shall abate. Abate मतलब they will कैंसल. जो रेगुलर एंड रीअसेसमेंट प्रोसीडिंग चल रहा था वो अब कंटिन्यू नहीं होगा. व्हाई दे विल नॉट कंटिन्यू? बिकॉज सर्च का ऑर्डर विल कवर अप दैट असेसमेंट ऑल्सो. सो रेगुलर एंड रीअसेसमेंट प्रोसीडिंग विल बी कैंसल्ड. दैट्स योर चैप्टर सर्च, सीजर एंड सर्वे. Let's go ahead to again one of the biggest chapters. We have more than 100 questions in this chapter, assessment procedure. But we have some small chapter and we have got time, so we will complete assessment procedure. Time permitting, we will also complete appeals revision. We will see because they are very small chapters. Theory anyways will happen fast only. Some solving I have to, I have to solve and teach you. But here it will happen fast. What is the due date of filing return of income of a sleeping partner of a partnership firm whose accounts are required to be audited? Firm का accounts required to be audited. मतलब firm का due date will be 31st October and firm का due date 31st October. तो partner का भी whether active or sleeping 31st October. Mrs. Komal Surana is confused whether she is supposed to file a return of income or not. She asks you as a CA to tell her what to be considered in determining liability for filing return of income. Tax she is not asking. Return, marital status irrelevant. Gross income, net income or residential address. These two are not relevant for sure. अब बोलेगा सर ग्रॉस टोटल इनकम पे तो टैक्स नहीं आता. अग्रीड, टैक्स विल बी कैलकुलेटेड ऑन दिस, बट फॉर फाइलिंग ऑफ रिटर्न वी विल ऑलवेज चेक द gross total income. For return filing we have to check the GTI, the income before deduction. Granth Surana is a minor child. He has foreign bank account of which he is a beneficiary and the money was contributed by the father Rakesh Surana. That means father is beneficial owner and son is beneficiary. If both are ROR, then filing of return will be compulsory for whom? Normally both have to file, but in case of a minor child, can I say that clubbing provisions will apply, and if clubbing provisions apply, only beneficial owner will file, beneficiary will not file. Ravi Surana is a resident, age 46 years, has GTI of 6 lakh, NTTI of 150. Filing of return. देखो अगर आप I am asking you that tax है क्या, the tax is not there because NTTI is 150. But return filing, will depend on your GTI. Thus, filing will be compulsory. Mr. A, age 26 years, is a working partner in a partnership firm which is liable for tax audit. His GTI is 240, मतलब 245, मतलब GTI की वजह से तो he does not have to file it. Partnership firm has a bank account in Switzerland for which Mr. A has signing authority. That means even if his GTI is below basic exemption limit, he has got foreign asset. Will he required to be file his return of income? Is he required? Yes. Why is he required to file? Because even if his income is below basic exemption limit, he has got foreign asset as a beneficial owner, signing authority, and thus he has to file. And now when he has to file, if firm is liable for audit, so firm ka due date October, so partner ka due date will be same as that of the firm. Mr. A is 26 years, a sleeping partner in a firm which is liable for tax audit. His gross income is 245. When is he required to file it? आप बोलेगा सर सेम क्वेश्चन सेम आंसर. नहीं, सुनो. He does not have foreign asset this time and income is also below basic exemption. That means he falls in a case where return filing is not compulsory. No need to file return. A is 26 years, a sleeping partner in a firm which is liable for audit. His gross income is 265. His tax may be 0 because of rebate. Maybe because of deductions, net income only below basic exemption limit. Is he required to file this time? Yes. Because gross income is more than basic exemption. Yes, he is required to file. Once you decide that, what will be the due date? Firm ka due date kya hoga? October. Same due date will be applicable to partner. A firm has got both tax audit and transfer pricing. When is it required to file return? If transfer pricing is applicable, then answer is November, then tax audit is irrelevant. Tax audit is relevant only if transfer pricing is not applicable. Who is compulsorily required to file? Individual with total income of 350, yes. Company, yes. Firm, yes. Company and firm irrespective of amount, always. Loss not allowed to be carried forward in case of belated ROI. Not allowed. What are the only two allowed? House property, UAD. So, business loss not allowed, capital loss not allowed. House property is allowed. They are asking not allowed. So, 1 and 2. Option A. Loss allowed to be carried forward. यही बता दिया in case of belated ROI. This not allowed. This not allowed. House property, UAD allowed. This not allowed. So, only 3 and 4. Option A. Filing a belated return shall attract 234A interest, 234F fees. Business loss will be disallowed. Income related chapter 6 also not allowed. All of the above. State whether true or false. Belated return cannot be revised. Once upon a time it was true some 4-5 years ago. But now it is false. Yes, it can be revised. A return can be revised only by fresh ROI. Writing a letter only by way of fresh ROI. Supreme Court judgment. Go ahead, India. Procuring pen is going to be mandatory for minor child. No, sorry. First option 15. Question 15. Procuring pen is mandatory for everyone. 9. All persons with financial transaction exceeding 250. नॉन रेसिडेंट भी नहीं. आपको शायद लगेगा सर दिस इज द आंसर, ट्रांसेक्शन एक्सीडिंग 250, बट उसके अंदर ऑप्शन क्या मालूम है? इफ यू चेक द सेक्शन ऑफ पैन, रेसिडेंट हैविंग ट्रांसेक्शन एक्सीडिंग 250, ऑल पर्सन नहीं है, एंड उसमें भी एक्सक्लूडिंग इंडिविजुअल, मतलब रेसिडेंट एचयूएफ कंपनी फॉर्म. दैट मींस दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग, दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग, दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग, नन ऑफ द अबव. Procuring pen is not mandatory. Minor child not compulsory. Farmer not compulsory. Non-resident also not compulsory, and thus all of the above. Straight whether true or false. Employee who has filed return of income to his employer shall be deemed to have furnished return. Yes, employees का जो system होता है ना इंडिया में TDS, you give your income details to your employer, and employer on behalf of you will be filing. So yes, it will be treated that you have given your details. Which of the following persons are required to file return only if their GTI exceeds basic exemption limit? Here we have to see the income before exemption. Here mandatory only body of individual HUF AOP BOI, individual HUF AOP BOI if GTI exceeds basic exemption. Time limit for belated return, this has been amended. Earlier it was end of AI or completion of assessment. Now it is 3 months before AI or completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Which of the following persons are mandatory required to file ROI? Company, firm, LLP? Yes, all of the above. Quoting of Aadhaar is mandatory in case of which of the following? Any high value financial transaction you do, you have to quote Aadhaar. So motor vehicle, opening account, opening demat account, all the cases you have to. Every person carrying on any business or profession whose total sales turnover exceeds how much? 5 lakh rupees. Business profession mein if sales turnover exceeds 5 lakh rupees, then filing of return will be mandatory. Which of the following persons are compulsorily required to file ROI? Umesh having total income of 810? Yes. Jayesh ROR who has house in Dubai, no income in India, but ROR having foreign asset, so yes. Firm having total turnover, अरे भाई firm का तो loss भी होएगा then also compulsory, and thus all of the above. When a payment is made for sale or purchase of immovable property of an amount exceeding how much, then Aadhaar is mandatory. This is not given in the act, it is given in income tax rules. 10 lakh या उससे ज़्यादा का property का deal you are doing, then quoting of Aadhaar is going to be mandatory. Every person is required to quote Aadhaar number in PAN application, return of income, both of them. Though now we will stop applying for PAN because we can directly quote Aadhaar number and system will allot. If Aadhaar number is not available, then what do? Avoid filing ROI. Quote wife ka Aadhaar, nahi. Quote the enrollment ID. Which among the following will verify return of company? Company का return कौन verify करेगा? If there is managing director, it will be MD. If no managing director, then we will give it to any other director. Who among the following will verify return where insolvency application is admitted? Whenever assessee is under insolvency, the matter will be governed by the insolvency professional. Quoting of Aadhaar will not apply. So there are some exceptions where PAN and Aadhaar not to be linked, which is given in rules. This MCQ will help to revise that. Anybody who is state of Assam not relevant, non-resident, super senior citizen and non-citizen, all of them not required to quote Aadhaar. They are not required to. जैसे non-citizen, state of Assam, not required to have only Aadhaar. Can CA be TRP? CA को interest ही नहीं है. CA कैसे बनेगा? CA is not allowed. So no, CA cannot be TRP. Following is not to be paid with self-assessment. When you are paying self-assessment tax, you have to pay interest and fees. But if there is any penalty, not to be paid. For an assessee who does not file return of income even after 142(1) notice, डर है कि नहीं? Penalty of 10,000 will get attracted. Best judgment will also get attracted. Ideally, answer is both A and B. D बोलता है both A and B, but show cause notice has to be given. In best judgment, show cause notice has to be given. So, do you think D is the option? Show cause notice has to be given for the default of 142(2)(a), 143(2) or not filing of ROI. In 142(1) default, penalty of 10,000 and best judgment without show cause notice. So, both A and B, show cause notice not required. Special audit under 142(2)(a) has to be completed within how much time? Original time or extension, total maximum 180 days. Assessee who does not comply with special audit, abhi bolo, penalty 10,000 yes, best judgment yes, both, but before that send show cause notice. So most appropriate में आपका आंसर D रहेगा. Before directing for special audit, AO has to do what? Take approval of CCIT, CIT, yes. Provide an opportunity. Paunch and higher authority approval, both are required and therefore C. Time limit for issuing intimation under 143(1) is dash. So till last year it was 12 months and now it is amended, 3 months का time कम हो गया and thus it will be 9 months. Time limit for issuing notice under 143(2). आप बोलेगा सर ये भी amendment हो गया, last year 6 months, now 3 months, 3 months. I know sir 3 months. मर गया. The answer is this. The time limit for this is 0. सर आप बोलेगा क्या बात कर रहे हैं सर, scrutiny notice का time limit है ना, earlier 6 months, now amended to. नहीं, there is no time limit for issuing. Time limit for serving the scrutiny notice, which was last year 6 months, is now amended to 3 months from the end of the year in which the return is filed. तो issue के लिए not prescribed, serve करने के लिए time limit is prescribed. For an assessee who does not comply with scrutiny notice, once again penalty of 10,000 and best judgment, but this time also show cause notice has to be given. Assessment under 143(3) with respect to AY 22-23 has to be completed within how much time? This also got amended. Till last year it was 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year, now amended to 9 months. So 3 months period has been reduced in belated return, revised return, intimation, scrutiny notice and time limit to complete assessment. Best judgment assessment is also called smart order, logical order, nahi bhai, ex party, excluding the party involved. One of the features of best judgment is no refund can be given, yes. Baja mein no refund. Appealable, yes. No paunch if it was 142(1). 142(1), no show cause notice. So yes, all of the above. Eligible assessee to which draft order will be sent by the DRP before doing 144C. Foreign company and any company or any person जिसका transfer pricing का मतलब international tax का violation है, thus both A and B. Protective assessment can be used for recovery of what? Only tax. Penalty cannot be recovered by using protective assessment. JCIT can issue directions to the AO. Suo moto, request by AO, application by the assessee, all the above cases. JCIT directions to the AO are binding, not binding. Binding, but if prejudicial to the assessee, then you have to give opportunity. Binding is right, but point C is most appropriate. We have to search for most appropriate. Discretionary best judgment assessment can be done due to non-compliance. See, 142(1), 142(2)(a), 143(2) mandatory है, लेकिन non-compliance of ICDS हुआ तो discretionary. Interest on compensation will be taxable in the year of receipt. Always IFOS, always year of receipt, flat 50% deduction. Government grants which are not taxable immediately are related to fixed asset हुआ तो वो cost में से minus होगा, and given to corpus then that is not taxable. Given to trust, that means both of them not taxable. ये सब ICDS related question. Time limit for completion of assessment under 144 will be dash months. So just like scrutiny, 144 का भी time limit will be reduced now to, but wait, when a reference has been made to transfer pricing officer. So yes, it is 9 months. Answer is 9 months. Normal answer which is reduced from 12 months to 9 months. But if a reference is made to transfer pricing officer, whenever your case is referred to transfer pricing officer, the time limit available to the AO to complete your assessment will be increased by 12 months, and thus instead of 9 months it will become 21 months. Notice under 148 can be issued to assessee within minimum dash years and maximum dash years from the end of relevant AY. So this is as per the amended. Now earlier it was 6 and 10. The whole concept of reassessment and search is amended, and as per amendment, as you are aware, that normally it is 3 years. But if the concealments are 50 lakh or more, 4 assets, then we will enhance it to 10 years. So it is now changed from minimum 6 and maximum 10 to minimum 3 and maximum 10. So just one correction here again in the answer. दो जगह पे option 3 and 10 दिया हुआ है, तो I don't know one of them 51 में printed C या D दोनों में से जो भी होगा, the 3 and 10 is the right answer. So whatever is the printed answer, उसमें से कोई एक को change कर दो. Say make this 7 and 10. Change this option to 7 and 10. So this is the right answer. And if the answer is printed as C, I don't know what is 51 का answer printed, then you make it D. या फिर you change this option. मतलब गलती से यहाँ पे दो option में same answer print हो गया. 3 and 10 is the right answer. Whatever is the printed answer, C and D में से कुछ भी print होगा तो it will be right. But the mistake is same option given for two things, C and D. दोनों में से कुछ भी if written was will be right. With respect to completion of assessment under section 144, time limit to complete the same is going to be dash. Now see, there is no mention of TPO, and when there is no mention of TPO, then we will put it as 9 months. If there is no mention of TPO, then it will be 9 months. Mr. Pedro and his wife are residents of Goa and governed under Portuguese Civil Code. Again amendment. Pedro is a partner of firm and accounts of firm are subject to tax audit under 44 AB. Then what will be due date of filing for Pedro and his wife? Firm का tax audit? Firm का October. तो partner Pedro का due date also October. Partner का due date same as firm. October. And if governed by Portuguese Civil Code, then wife के लिए भी it is going to be October, 31st October for both. If any money, any books of account belonging to other person other than the person whose premises search is conducted, then what will be do? Hand over to the assessing officer of that assessing. No notice under 148 shall be issued beyond 3 years from the end of AY unless income represented in the form of asset as escaped assessment amounts or likely to amount. तो अभी जो नया वाला time limit आया which I told you, answer is 3 and 10. गलती से दोनों option में 3, 10 printed. So that answer is right. You can see which is the printed answer. You can keep that as your correct option and change the other option to anything like 7 and 10. But 3 ka 10 will become if the concealment is 50 lakh or more. Assessment order under 154 will be amended if apparent on record, change in opinion of AO. No, change in opinion not allowed. So both not allowed. Cannot be rectified rubbish. If there is mistake apparent on record, will be rectified. Time limit for revised return. This is also amended. 3 months prior to assessment year or completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Time limit for rectification. 4 years from the end of the year in which the order was passed. But 155 में 4 years है, but 155 is due to the future event. So 4 years from the end of the year in which the future event took place. To issue notice under 148 for income escaping assessment up to 3 years. So नया वाला permission of higher authorities. Earlier it was 4, 6, 16, but now the amendment is up to 3 years का अगर करना है तो you have to take permission of CIT, and more than 3 years करना है तो CCIT. That is the amendment. Rectification of order can be made suo motu or application of the assessee. Both cases it can be made. If notice is to be issued for income escaping assessment after 3 years from the end of the relevant AY, then AO needs to take approval of CCIT. So within 3 years it will be CIT, and beyond 3 years CCIT. State whether true or false. Assessing officer need not follow the procedure of 148A in respect of any matter which subsequently comes to his notice. At the beginning, he has to follow the procedure, but first time once he followed 148A procedure, then subsequent matters he does not have to follow procedure. True. In time limit for issue of notice under 148 where income escaped amount assessment is 1,50,000, then it will be how many years? 3 years. Only when it is 50 lakh or more, in that case it will become 10 years. Time limit for issue of demand notice. What is the time limit of demand notice? No time limit for demand notice. Where an assessment is made under 143.3, which of the following cases income is deemed to be escape assessment? Income is chargeable, is under assessed. Income is assessed at lower rate. Income has been subject matter of excessive relief. In all the cases, whenever there is underpayment of excess, scrutiny will take place. When can best judgment be done? Failure to file return? Yes. Not replying to 142(1) notice or scrutiny notice? Yes. That means best judgment can be done in all the cases. State whether true or false. Special audit under 142 will be conducted only if accounts are not audited. Whether accounts are audited or not audited, AO can direct you to get a special audit done. Scrutiny assessment notice cannot be served after the expiry of dash amended time limit. Earlier it was 6 months, but now it is 3 months. In case of LLP, who will verify the return? LLP में designated partner not available है तो बात अलग है. Expenses of special audit will be paid by central government. Decided by CCIT, paid by central government. Legal representative under 159 is liable for what? Tax, interest, penalty. What of the deceased? He is liable for everything, but of course maximum liability to the amount inherited. When will a person be called legal representative? When he is beneficial owner of an estate, matlab main assessee died and he has taken over the estate. He is in possession of the property or the asset devolved on him, maybe because he is the legal heir. In all the cases he will become legal representative. Action against legal representative can be taken only when proceedings have not started, proceedings were pending or completed. Under all cases, if there is any recovery to be done from deceased, we can take action against the legal representative till the time the legal representative is holding the asset of the deceased, because maximum liability will be inheritance. Person who are liable to be assessed on behalf of other person due to their relation with the main person, can I call them representative assessee, because their relation with the main person, like parent or guardian or trustee or something like that. Which of the following is a right of the representative assessee? To receive from the person on whose behalf he paid liability, of course, because he will never pay anything from his pocket. To adjust liability against money in his possession, of course, he will adjust and pay you. Retain out of money in his representative capacity any amount equal to any sum paid or payable. If you pay anything, you recover. So all of the above. Legal representative is liable for deceased from which date? The moment the deceased dies, that means the entire responsibility now falls on the representative. Discretionary trust, वो जो family trust, देखो charitable trust is charitable trust. Electoral trust and business trust are special occasions. But any other trust that you form for the benefit of your family, that will be called discretionary trust. And discretionary trust का जो tax लगेगा, that will be at maximum marginal rate. ABC are beneficiaries of ABC discretionary trust. Their income is below the basic exemption limit. Then what will be the charge? So it becomes like an AOP, where MMR applies, but if the shares of the members are known, so we will apply the rate which is applicable to AOP. अगर MMR दिया होता तो we would have chosen that. Otherwise, the best option is rate applicable to AOP. Agent of non-resident is representative assessee of non-resident. Which of the following is not included? Person employed is included. Trustee is included. Having business connection is also included. So none of the above. All of them are included. Who is appointed to carry out instructions and wishes of deceased to administrate the deed? The deceased before dying may appoint someone called an executor by giving him, see, legal heir is not appointed, वो automatic होता है. Representative assessee is only if relation. Executor if there is power of attorney, if there is will given. We can also call him representative, but executor is given, so that is more appropriate word. In case of disagreement between principal and representative assessee, such representative assessee may secure what certificate? देखो भाई, I am your representative. So any tax I pay on your behalf, I can recover from you. But if there is disagreement, so amount, how will we decide? We can take a certificate from the AO. Income which is earned during FY is not charged to tax in that year, but in the next year. What are the exceptions? This was there in the first chapter also. Any person leaving India or form for a particular purpose or transferring assets or discontinuance on business, then income can be taxed in the same year itself. When a business is succeeded by another person, income from start of accounting year till succession will be taxed in the hands of predecessor, and from the successor till the end of the year in case of successor. On death of a person, executor will be responsible for estate of deceased and assessment will be made on him. How will residential status of executor be found for assessment of deceased? Dekho, executor is himself an assessee. So for him, for his own assessment, we will decide on the basis of his own residential status. But if we want to assess him on behalf of deceased, then we will also need to check the residential status of the deceased. What is the status of the deceased? On that basis, we will decide the residential status for levying tax on income of the deceased. Legal heir will be responsible for the income of the deceased. From which date? The moment the executor finishes all his distribution. Starting May, it will be executor who will be responsible from the date of death. Once executor has finished the distribution, now all the money is with legal heir, and once distribution is over, the legal heir will be responsible. If liquidator after winding up company fails to comply with any of the conditions of the liquidation, obviously it was his responsibility, so he will be personally liable. In case of private company, when a tax is due, dash shall be liable. In case of corporate assessee, the directors will be liable on behalf of the company. Assessment order of 143.3 in case of Z was passed on 31st March 21. Notice of demand was given on 2nd April for levy of tax and interest, and Z paid the tax and interest on 12th April. An application was filed by Z under 270AA, that is waiver of penalty ka application, on 27th April before AO to grant immunity from imposition of penalty, and the said application was rejected by the AO by order dated 14th. Matlab we requested on this date and he rejected on this date, and the order was served on 15. Matlab from which date I have copy of order? 15. By what date can appeal against assessment order be presented before the CIT appeals? First of all, 143.3 order is appealable and time limit to appeal is 30 days. Let's be clear. What is time limit to appeal? 30 days from copy of order. No confusion. So though the order is passed on 2nd April, the 30 days will be counted from copy of order. Sorry. The 30 days will be counted from copy of order. Copy of order was given on which date? Passed on 31st March and the notice of demand was served. ये तो payment का date है. So 12th April is not the order का copy. 2nd April को he was given the copy. Order was passed on 31st March. Copy was given on 2nd April. यहाँ से we count 30 days. For filing appeal with CIT appeals, 30 days from copy of order. 12th April is the date of payment. वो date नहीं होता है. From copy of order होता है 2nd April in our question. But any assessee who gets immunity by making this application, then assessment order is not appealable. But only if you get immunity. Did you get immunity? No. Is penalty getting levied? Yes. That means can you appeal against assessment order? Yes. Assessment order is non-appealable if penalty is waived. If penalty is levied, then assessment order will be appealable. But there is some time lost. No? 27th April you appeal and 15th May you get copy of rejection. So there is some time lost. 27, 28, 29, 30. 4 days in April and 15 days in May, because 15th ko you got copy. 4 days in April, 15 days in May. So 19 days you lost. So whatever is the time lost in this 2nd April, if we count 20 days, 30 days, we get 2nd May as our answer. From 2nd April, 30 days is the normal time limit to appeal, we get 2nd May. But the 19 days which were lost in waiting for rejection of penalty waiver application, that also will be added. So from 2nd May, we will add 19 days and thus the last date to appeal will become 21st May. Normally it is 30 days. 30 days from this date will give you 2nd May, but the time lost in this waiver application will be added back. And one more thing I would like to repeat, that order is appealable because waiver is not granted. Agar waiver grant hota, to order would have been non-appealable. Which of the following cannot be corrected in 143.1? Arithmetical error cannot pucha, it can be corrected. Incorrect claim can be corrected. Disallowance of expenditure indicated in the audit report but not taken into account can be corrected. But disputed claim, that we will do scrutiny and decide. A limited file return of income on 30th September 22. Return is selected for regular assessment. Time limit for serving notice पहले 9 months था, अभी 6 months हो गया. So end of the year will be 31st March 23, and from 31st March 23 we will have to add 3 months. So the answer which used to come to September till last year will now come to June. Assessment of Epsilon Limited for AY 1920 was made under 143.3 on 20th July 20. Assessing officer added 3 lakh being 30% of 10 lakh for non-deduction of TDS. So disallowance है 4 lakh on account of unexplained investment. The assessee contested the addition on account of unexplained investment in appeal before CIT appeals. मतलब ये 4 lakh तो CIT appeals में. The appeal was decided against the assessee. What is the remedy available against this TDS का disallowance? मतलब दो disallowance है. One is this 3 lakh of TDS and 4 lakh of unexplained cash credit. Assessee appealed only on 4 lakh. Now he is asking for remedy for 3 lakh. Can the assessee file a revision application? Revision under 264. If the order is subject matter of appeal, then whether same matter or different matter, revision under 264 cannot happen. 263 हो सकता है. 263 किस पे हो सकता है? Not on the matter which is subject matter of appeal, but इसका 263 can be done. But 264 cannot be done. Not allowed. Assessee can file an application for rectification if there is mistake apparent on record. अगर कोई apparent mistake है, तो rectification will be allowed. 264 is not allowed, but rectification is allowed. So B will be your answer. Procedure under 148A is not to be followed when a search is conducted. At that time, we already know that there is income escaping assessment. This is an amendment again. So not to be followed when a search is conducted. Survey mein it has to be followed. So this cannot be answer, and this is also not the answer. Anushri, being a non-resident citizen of India, is a sports person. She shall be mandatorily required to file return for AY 22-23 if non-resident है. तो देखो, she is not company, not firm. ROR having asset outside cannot apply, non-resident. Only option is income exceeding basic exemption limit. Holds asset outside India, not applicable because that is for ROR. If she has income exceeding basic exemption limit after deduction, no bro, no. For return filing, you have to say before deduction. So wrong. If she has income exceeding basic exemption limit, but after deduction, after deduction income नहीं बोल रही है, वो बराबर बोल रही है. What is she saying? Income is exceeding basic exemption limit, but after deduction it is below basic. But will we see after deduction? No, we will see the income before deduction. This is only right. लेकिन एक बार read कर लेंगे. Whenever such long options are given, you should always read the option once. If she has income without giving effect to chapter 6 से below basic exemption limit and tax credit is appealed, नहीं. Without deduction, if it is below basic exemption limit, then she does not have to file. Before deduction file, in all the above situations, नहीं. So reading error हुआ. If she has income exceeding basic exemption limit, after deduction it is below, उससे matter नहीं करता है. Before deduction it is exceeding, and thus she has to mandatorily file return of income. In case of a company, assessment proceeding under section 143.3 for AY 18-19 were completed on 31st December 19. Order was issued on 31st December 19, which was served on 6 January. Notice of demand was also given. Assessee aggrieved by the order wishes to file an appeal. By what time can the assessee file? देखो, appeal file करने के लिए time limit is 30 days. 30 days किधर से count होगा? Will you count 30 days from passing of order? No. From demand notice? नहीं. From copy of order. So 6 January से अगर आप 30 days count करोगे, if you count from 6 January 30 days, then you will get exactly after 1 month, and thus your answer actually should be 6th February. If you think about it that way, देखो 30 days अगर count करोगे तो you will get 6th February ordinarily, but एक छोटा सा mistake है, and the mistake is this: you will have to correct the answer also. The printed answer has to be rectified over here. एक छोटा सा mistake आपको correct करना पड़ेगा, that आपको पता होना चाहिए that January के अंदर the number of days are 31. Okay, so if you add 30 days, one of the days of January is extra, and thus the answer has to be 5th of February. There is a printing error. It will not be 6th of February. It is going to be 5th of February. 6 Jan plus 30 days आप करोगे तो you will get 5th of February. Okay, let's count एक बार. Let's count. January प्लस 30 डेज करते हैं, अगर 30 का महीना है तो प्लस 30 डेज करते तो इट कम्स टू द सेम डेट ऑफ द next month, but it's a month of 31, so you will have to do it at 1 day before. So just correct this error. It is printed as 6th February, you correct it to 5th February. Mr. A files his return of income but inadvertently did not claim any expense of rupees 1 lakh in his return. The date of filing revised return has expired. The assessing officer under section 143(3) has made an adjustment by disallowing another expense amounting to 3 lakh. Mr. A can claim the said expense. How? एक expense claim नहीं किया. Now revised return का date has gone. How can you claim? There is only one option in which you can claim. You can go for a revised return. There is no other way in which you can claim, because either this is not an order of the AO that you are aggrieved against. अगर order होता तो you could have gone for appeal or revision or anything. You could not claim and thus you cannot appeal, and thus all your option is go for rectification. Mr. Ram, born on 1/4/1962, has gross total income of 290. Mitro, you know how they are playing with you. 1/4/62 plus 60 years. That means he will become senior citizen on 1/4/22. Correct है? हाँ तो पूरा 21/22 he is not senior citizen. But do we know this? In the very beginning of introduction, it is taught that anybody becoming senior citizen on first day of assessment year will also be treated as senior citizen. And senior citizen होगा ना तो basic exemption we have to see 3 lakh rupees. So GTI is only 2,90,000. 3 lakh नहीं लगेगा. अगर ये non senior citizen होता तो return filing is mandatory. But he is senior citizen because first day of assessment year also covered. Comprising salary income, he does not claim any deduction under chapter 6A. He pays electricity bill of 10,000 per month. मतलब senior citizen का basic exemption cross नहीं हो रहा है. So because of that तो return filing is not mandatory. But electricity bill हो रहा है ना 10,000 per month, मतलब 1,20,000 exceeding 1 lakh. So return filing will be mandatory. He made a visit to Melbourne along with his wife for a month in Feb 22, which he incurred 2 and 4 charges of 1.2 lakh. Remaining expenditure of visa stay were incurred by his son residing in Melbourne. मतलब listen, foreign travel is not exceeding 2 lakh. Basic exemption cross नहीं किया तो is he required to file? Yes. Why? Because electricity expense 1 lakh cross किया. Not required to file? Wrong answer. Yes, he is required to file return of income since his gross total income exceeded basic exemption. No, JTI has not exceeded basic exemption. 250 नहीं है, 3 lakh है. He is resident. Yes, he is required to file because he pays electricity. This is the reason. Foreign travel exceeding 1 lakh नहीं, foreign travel में limit 2 lakh का, electricity में 1 lakh का limit. On the basis of given facts, answer the questions 98 to 100. So 98, 99, 100 case study based question है. Mr. Ram is carrying on business of trading in furniture and annual turnover is around 70 to 80 lakh rupees. मतलब audit what it इसको कुछ नहीं लगता. His brother Shyam is carrying on business of wholesale trading in food grains and annual turnover is around 3 crore. मतलब इसको tax audit लगेगा. Ram has got no audit, Shyam has got audit. Shyam also exports food grains to Southeast Asia countries directly as well as through associates. मतलब international transaction भी है, transfer pricing भी लगेगा. मतलब Ram is non-audit case, July, and Shyam is audit as well as transfer. मतलब October या November. Following are the particulars related to Ram and Shyam for AY 1920 to 2122. 3 साल का डेटा दिया. Ram filed AY 1920 का return on 30th April 21 in response to 148 notice which was served on this date. AY 2021 का return है 12 September 20 and 21-22 का. So he has filed 3 returns. Different dates are given. These 2 are filed in normal course under 139(1) and this is filed in response to notice. Shyam का AY 1920 का return was filed on this date. तो ये AY 1920 का तो return both search वाला cases है and this notice was served on 20th March. This notice was served on 9th April. And दोनों ने अपने अपने response में return file किया. For AY 2021 he filed on 30th September. AO made reference to TPO, मतलब transfer pricing आ गया. On 2nd April, TPO passed an order on 4th August. ठीक है? And filed return of AY 21-22 on 1st October. मतलब basically 3 साल का return filing का data is given. 2 years का normal course में है both of them and 1920 का reassessment या search assessment का case. What is the time limit available to AO for completion of assessment of Ram and Shyam for AY 1920. मतलब reassessment का time limit they are asking. Time limit of completing reassessment. Normally 9 months, but one of the questions I made you correct because any reassessment notice issued on or after 1/4/19. Is this on or after 1/4/19? Is this notice issued on or after 1/4/19? Any reassessment notice issued on or after 1/4/19, this date and this date, then it will not be 9, it will be 12. 12 months from the end of the year in which the notice was served. Now see, this notice was served on this date. That means it is, if you observe carefully, 2021, March 21 मतलब 21-22 नहीं है, 2021. और यहां से अगर आप 12 months काउंट करेगा तो इसका ऑर्डर पास करने का लास्ट डेट विल बी 31st March 22. एंड दिस इज सर्व्ड इन 21-22. एंड यहां से अगर आप 12 months काउंट करेगा तो यू विल गेट योर आंसर 31st March 23. So भले their notice का gap is only about 10-15 days, 20 days, but they are in different financial years. 12 months from the end of the year in which the notice was served. So यहाँ पे 2021, यहाँ पे 21-22. So राम के केस में it will be 31st March 22 and श्याम के केस में it will be 31st March 23. Reassessment का time limit to check किए. What is time limit available to AO for completion of assessment by passing order for AY 2021? AY 2021 they are asking. Now see, regular assessment है, ये दोनों regular है ना, only first one was reassessment. So 2021 they are asking. Regular assessment, this year time limit has changed. You should know it as an amendment. इस साल time limit change हुआ, it has become 9 months. So you cannot apply this year AY 22-23 का time limit for past years. Past years it was 12 months. So it was 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. So if this is your relevant assessment year, कौन सा year पूछ रहे हैं? AY 2020. So 12 months यहाँ से 31st March 22 होता है, लेकिन इसके केस में reference was made to transfer pricing officer, so it is going to be 12 months extra. AY 2021 they are asking. Now it has changed to 9 months. लेकिन आपको पूछा past year का है. AY 22-23 के लिए you will apply 9 months. Past year के लिए you will apply 12. So you will get 31-3-22. लेकिन in case of Shyam, it's a case of transfer pricing, तो 1 year extra. So 31-3-22 and 31-3-23 respectively. So time limit of regular assessment with transfer pricing का 1 year extra. Assuming that Mr. Ram and Mr. Shyam have business losses pertaining to AY 21-22. मतलब ये जो year है, last year AY 21-22, इन दोनों में इनका business, they have business loss. Can they carry forward such loss? When is business loss allowed to be carried forward? If return is filed on time. देख लेते हैं. Ram has filed on 25th September. Due date देख लो ना एक बार. इस due date के लिए you will use this. What is Ram का due date? July. And what is Shyam का due date? तो transfer pricing case है. तो November. तो has Ram filed return on time? No. Ram का return is belated. And Shyam का time पे है. तो belated return में loss carry forward नहीं मिलता है. They are checking your knowledge of due date. पहले तो they are checking whether you know audit is applicable or no. If audit is applicable, then on the basis of that, what is the due date? On that basis, decide who will get carry forward. So Ram ka return is belated, no carry forward, but Shyam ka return is on time. Both can carry forward, wrong. Both cannot carry forward, wrong. Ram can carry forward, wrong. Shyam can carry forward क्योंकि return time पे है, and Ram cannot carry forward because the return is late. ABC Limited file return of income of AY 21-22 on 20th September 21 and XYZ Limited file return of AY 21-22 on 30th November 21. Both returns have been filed within the due date. The returns are selected for regular assessment under scrutiny, for which notice was served to ABC and XYZ on 25th July 22. Which of the are the following statements correct? Which of the following statements are correct? Notice has been issued within the prescribed time limit. Is that correct? Notices issued are time barred. Notices issued to ABC is time barred and XYZ is within the time limit, etc. etc. मतलब दोनों का आपको पूछा. Scrutiny notice है. As per amendment, the time limit is now going to be 3 months from the end of the year. So 21-22. What is the year of filing return? 21-22 है दोनों का. यहाँ से we will count 3 months. तो 30th June. दोनों का notice 25th July. And because it is 25th July, so the notices are going to be, both notices are going to be treated as time barred because the notice has been served after the allowed time limit. अभी जून, पहले लास्ट ईयर ये राइट होता था बिकॉज सितंबर का टाइम लिमिट था, अभी रॉन्ग हो गया बिकॉज जून हो गया. 6 months has reduced to 3 months. Is that understood? Well, that's our chapter called assessment procedure. Are suno, even if we have done a lot of questions today, I know, sir, 200 से ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी आज हो गया है, बट स्टिल वी हैव टाइम. लेट्स नॉट वेस्ट टाइम बिकॉज वी विल बी एबल टू कवर देन इन लेस नंबर ऑफ एपिसोड्स. पीजीबीपी में वी हैव टू डू ह्यूज नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. सो वी आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू. 2 घंटा मांगा है मैंने आपसे रोज का, तो 2 आवर्स यू विल हैव टू गिव मी. तो अपील्स का चैप्टर, वेयर एन ऑर्डर इज मेड अंडर 154 और 155 having effect of enhancing the assessment or reducing the refund. So AO will pass the order. Where will you file appeal? With the Commissioner Appeals. Which of the following order is appealable at CIT Appeals? Assessment order, yes. Treating you as agent of non-resident, yes. Penalty ka order, yes. Order passed by AO, yes. Anything done by AO, you can come here except the 9 non-appealable orders. Which of the following is not appealable at CIT Appeals? Order in directions of DRP. पहला ही आंसर राइट है because DRP contains 3 CITs. अगर 3 CIT है तो CIT appeals is same level, you cannot come. Radhika deducts tax of Steve Jobs, which is borne by Steve Jobs only. Subsequently, Radhika claims that no tax was required to be deducted. तो she may appeal to. ये पागल है क्या? What are you aggrieved of? You were not supposed to deduct TDS, but you deducted. तो अपील क्या? And वैसे भी TDS is not a levy of tax. In case it is deducted, you will get credit. तो अपील क्या? There is obviously no question of any appeal. You have to be aggrieved for appeal. State whether true or false. Appeal can be filed with CIT appeals only if the assessee has paid tax on the amount of returned income. Of course, undisputed tax has to be paid by you. Where an order is made under 201 deeming a person to be assessee in default with respect to TDS, then where will you file appeal? That appeal has to be filed with CIT appeals. What are the powers of CIT appeals? Confirm, enhance, reduce? Yes, all of the above. CIT appeals has to dispose of the appeal within. ये टाइम लिमिट इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है 1 year from the end of the year in which the appeal was filed, because it is said if possible. Which of the following appealables orders are appealable at ITET? Order passed by AO with the approval of principal commissioner, means principal commissioner is involved, तो CIT appeals नहीं जा सकते, you have to go to ITET. Order passed by CIT appeals, of course ITET. Principal commissioners, of course again ITET. Anything done by the commissioner, you will have to go to ITET. Appeal to ITET has to be filed within a period of 60 days, 30, 60, 129. Appeal order of passed by AO in pursuance of directions of DRP. DRP है मतलब 3 CIT और 3 CIT मतलब you will appeal at ITET. ITET can grant stay of demand including extension for a maximum period of 365. Original period plus extension, total maximum 365. Appeal to ITET can be filed if there is question of law or question of fact. ITET में you can go to both, but High Court only if there is question of law. Appeal to tribunal. Appellate tribunal may at any time within dash from the end of the month rectify its order. Rectify करने का क्या time limit है? 6 months from the end of the month of order. Where an appeal is filed to ITET by AO on direction of commissioner or principal commissioner, then fees will be paid by. जब भी fees will be paid by assessee when the department is filing an appeal, there is not going to be any fees. उनको सब मुफ्त है. Appeal to High Court against order of ITET can be filed within 120 days. State whether true or false. Appeal can be filed to High Court only if there is question of fact. Bakwas. Only if there is question of law. M failed to comply with provisions of 203A for which penalty of 10,000 was levied under 272BB. A approached a consultant and asked him to file an appeal before CIT appeals against penalty order. Determine the fee that is to be paid. Here, the amount is not in dispute. The appeal is not with respect to your liability. The appeal is not with respect to your liability. Appeal is on what issue? Appeal किस matter के ऊपर है? Not with respect to your liability. It is with respect to levy of penalty. With respect to your PAN, TAN, Aadhaar का default, and thus whenever your appeal is not with respect to your liability, the fees is going to be 250 rupees. The minimum structure of fees is going to be applicable. Mr. X is aggrieved by an order passed under 143(3) by AO. Mr. Y is aggrieved by an order passed under 272A by DGIT. What is the remedy available to X and Y and time limit? अगर AO ने पास किया है तो X has to go to CIT appeals, and अगर Director General ने पास किया है then you can't go to CIT appeals, then you will have to go to ITET because higher authority. and CIT में 30 days, ITAT में 60 days. Time limit is also asked. So X at CIT within 30 days and Y at ITAT within 60. Both X and Y at CIT appeals? Wrong. Both X and Y at ITAT? No. X at CIT appeals within 30 days and Y at ITAT within 60 days. Apparently this only looks like right, लेकिन बड़े ऑप्शन में हमेशा रीड करना. Y at CIT appeal, चलो समझ गया, wrong है. This is also wrong. If department wants to avoid repetitive appeals as per the procedure given under 158AA, then which of the following statement is not correct? पूछा, not correct, not correct. Power to avoid repetitive appeals is under 158A for assessee and department के लिए it is under 158AA. To summarize that for you, ऐसा कुछ है that High Court has taken favor of assessee and department has appealed in Supreme Court. और फ्यूचर ईयर में अगर सेम केस आता है तो एओ बोलेगा आई हैव अपील्ड एट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, देन व्हाई आई विल लिसन टू हाई कोर्ट. तो डिपार्टमेंट विल गो अगेंस्ट द हाई कोर्ट ऑर्डर बिकॉज इट इज ऑलरेडी अंडर अपील. एंड असेसी बोलेगा फॉलो द हाई कोर्ट ऑर्डर विच इज इन माय फेवर, एंड देन दे विल वेट फॉर द सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट एंड दे विल अप्लाई ऑल दिस. मतलब असेसी का फेवर इज टेकन बाय हाई कोर्ट, डिपार्टमेंट इज अपीलिंग एट सुप्रीम कोर्ट. मतलब डिस्प्यूट इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन. भले हाई कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है बट इट इज स्टिल अंडर अपील एट सुप्रीम कोर्ट. In such a case, AO will continue to pass orders as per his stand because he is appealing in Supreme Court. Assessee will continue to file appeal as per his stand because वो बोलेगा सर Supreme Court जब बोलेगा but High Court has decided in my favor, then we will exercise this power and Supreme Court का order will be applied. So which is not correct. In the any other case of the assessee, High Court has decided in favor of assessee and department has filed appeal in Supreme Court. That is the actual fact. So it's a correct fact. We have to find out not correct statement. Assessing officer in the relevant case for which repetitive appeal has to be avoided has disallowed the deduction, ignoring the High Court judgment. Yes, he is doing that. क्यों ऐसा? Because he says I am appealing at Supreme Court. Then why I should follow High Court judgment? Question involved in other case and relevant case should be question of law. देखो हाई कोर्ट में मैटर हैज गॉन, मतलब इट हैज टू बी क्वेश्चन ऑफ लॉ. दिस इज आल्सो करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. वी आर कैंसलिंग करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. क्वेश्चन कैन बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ लॉ और क्वेश्चन ऑफ फैक्ट. एक्चुअली इवन इफ यू डोंट नो 158AA इन डिटेल, एक बात तो पक्का है, मैटर हैज गॉन इन हाई कोर्ट मतलब इट कैन नॉट बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ फैक्ट. डैश इज द फाइनल फैक्ट फाइंडिंग अथॉरिटी. ऑफ कोर्स ITAT because we can go to ITAT only if there is, we can go to High Court only if there is question of law. Which of the following can be filed without fees? assessee तो हमेशा फीस भरेगा, but memorandum of cross objection can be filed without fees. ABC Limited was issued a notice under 148 for not filing Form 3 CEB. Subsequently, the case was referred to TPO and no adjustment was proposed by TPO. Assessing officer made another adjustment of 20 lakhs on some other account. मतलब transfer pricing का adjustment नहीं है. Now what can you do? Can you file an objection at TRP? File CIT appeals or go for revision? ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग का एडजस्टमेंट नहीं है. अगर ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग का एडजस्टमेंट नहीं है तो डीआरपी का ऑप्शन इज नॉट अवेलेबल. देन इफ यू आर अग्रीड यू हैव दिस मैकेनिज्म और रिविजन. ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन एक्सरसाइज एनी वन ऑफ देम, बोथ नहीं होगा, मगर मेन पॉइंट क्या है, ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग का एडजस्टमेंट नहीं हुआ है, देन डीआरपी मैकेनिज्म कैन नॉट बी इग्नोर्ड इन्वोक्ड एंड यू हैव टू टेक बी और सी. Which of the following order is not appealable at CIT appeal? See, this is done by AO, this is done by AO, though deleted now, and this is also done by AO, but this will be done by DRP. 144C is DRP and thus 3 CIT, so you have to go to ITAT. Which of the following orders are not appealable at CIT appeals? Penalty का order yes, agent of non-resident yes, but once again dispute resolution panel का अगर subject matter है तो not appealable because it contains 3 CITs. You will have to go to ITAT. Rajesh is aggrieved by an order passed by CIT imposing penalty under 270A for underreporting. What is the appellate remedy available to him and the specified time limit? Who has passed the order? CIT. If CIT has passed the order, can I go to CIT appeals? No, I will have to go to ITAT. So appeal at CIT appeals, CIT appeals cancel. And time limit, ITAT के पास अगर जाना है, time limit cannot be 30 days, ITAT within 60 days. Mr. Saurabh received an assessment order dated 11/11/21 on 15th November 21 wherein total income was 20 lakh, return income was 5 lakh. मतलब एडिशन किया 15 लाख. Saurabh did not accept the assessment order and file appeal against the same before CIT appeals. Now, while contesting the appeal, he wishes to submit some evidences that were not submitted before the assessing officer. As the tax consultant, what will be your advice? So, can you submit additional evidence before the CIT appeals? Does CIT appeal have the power? Yes. No power का answer wrong. No power का answer wrong. CIT appeal may accept additional evidence subject to reasons. Only if genuine cases की वजह से you could not furnish subject to reasons in writing. Yes, he can admit, but subject to the reasons. Without reason, he cannot accept your. Without reason, he cannot accept your additional evidence. If he gives reason, he can accept your additional evidence. That was our chapter appeals. हमारे पास time है and we have still couple of small chapters. We will complete them before thinking beyond this. When will order passed by AO be considered as deemed to be erroneous and prejudicial to interest for 263? Not followed board circular, High Court, Supreme Court order and in favor of assessee or without making inquiries or verification. So, without inquiries or verification, without inquiring into the claim, not following board circular, all of the above. State whether true or false. When matter of order has been subject matter of appeal, any matter of that order cannot be revised under 263. When one matter is in appeal, other matters, 263 पूछा, 264 बोला होता तो cannot be revised. If one matter also in appeal, any other matter also cannot be revised. 264 बोला होता तो true होता, but 263 बोला, that means it is false. If I change this cannot to can, तो true हो जाएगा. If I change this 263 to 264, तो true हो जाएगा. I hope you understand. Okay, so 263 में other matters can be revised. So this is false. As per 263, if order of AO is erroneous and prejudicial to the interest, it can be revised by whom? Ab tak it was commissioner, now it is commissioner as well as principal commissioner. So commissioner or principal commissioner. CIT appeals 263 नहीं कर सकता. An order passed by AO under 143(3) on 26/21, he wants to revise the order. What under 264 बोला है. 263 का time limit is 2 years from the end of the year. 264 का time limit क्या है? If I want to suo moto revise, then 1 year from my copy of suo moto, 1 year from passing of order, and अगर assessee apply करेगा तो 1 year वहां से assessee can apply after getting copy of order within 1 year from getting copy of order. लेकिन suo moto करेगा तो 1 year from passing of order. So 20th June 21 से 1 year 19th June 22 तक it can be revised. State whether true or false. When matters of order has been subject matter of appeal, other matters cannot be revised. Under 264 बोला, 264 बोला तो yes it is true, other matters cannot be revised. Revisionary order under section 263 shall be passed by the principal commissioner or commissioner within how much time? 2 years from the end of the year in which the erroneous order was passed. Which of the following can be filed without fees? Memorandum of cross objection. If assessee files application to principal commissioner to revise 264, then it has to be passed within how much time? अगर assessee apply किया तो 1 year from the end of the financial year in which the assessee has applied. Concept of total merger is applicable in that case and partial merger in that case. मतलब सुनो, you have to fill in the blank. कैसे? How you have to fill in the blank? And word जो दिया है ना, उसके पहले वाला term will come before in the first fill in the blank. Means total merger applicable in this case, partial merger applicable in this case. That is what they are asking. What is the concept of merger? What is the concept of merger? The old thing and the new thing will mix with each other. पूरा mix हो जाएगा, then it is total merger, and अगर only part of it will mix, then it will be partial merger. 263 में other matters are kept independent. So it is not a case of total merger. 263 cannot be the answer. 154 में भी other matters are kept independent. 264 में same matter और other matter दोनों mix हो जाएगा. 264 हो गया, that means other matters also you cannot do anything. That means total merger. And then check इस option के साथ में क्या दिया है? 263 में होता है ना partial merger. Same matters, other matters. Here also partial matters, same matters, not gone in appeal. Then you can come in 263. Not gone in appeal. Then other matters can come in 154. Not gone in appeal. Still other matters cannot come in. Not gone in appeal, other matters can come in 154. Not gone in appeal, so other matters can come in 263. But 264 is not possible. So here it will be partial merger, here it will be total merger. 264 will be in the first blank and that will be in the other blank. The assessment of Satpura Limited was completed under 143.3 with an addition of 18 lakh, which is addition to the return income. Satpura Limited preferred appeal before CIT appeals, which is pending. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Incorrect option ढूंढने का है. AO can initiate reassessment proceeding in respect of income chargeable to tax, which has escaped assessment, provided such income does not form a part of 18 lakh, which is subject matter of appeal. Any matter which is an appeal, उसको छोड़ के other matters का reassessment हो सकता है. Yes, correct statement. Wrong answer. We have to search for incorrect statement. We have to search for incorrect statement. ये correct statement है मित्रों. AO can pass order under 154 to rectify mistake apparent on record, provided it is a matter related to the matter other than appeal. Yes, 154 also other matters allowed. Right statement. Wrong answer. Under 264, commissioner can revise the order pending before CIT appeals if it pertains to other. 264 other matters पे नहीं हो सकता है. हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक्स लिमिटेड सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट. नॉट करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. यही राइट आंसर है. बट बड़े ऑप्शन में यू शुड ऑलवेज रीड 263. इफ द ऑर्डर इज प्रिजुडिशियल टू द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ रेवेन्यू, कमिश्नर कैन रिवाइज अदर मैटर्स. अदर मैटर्स में reassessment can happen, 263 can happen, 154 can happen, but 264 cannot happen. State whether true or false, where any matter of order has been subject matter of appeal, other matter can be revised under 264. Other matter also 264 cannot be revised. 263 बोला होता तो true होता. If assessee files application to PCIT to revise 264, revisionary order has to be passed within 1 year from the end of the year in which the assessee makes an application. Which of the following statement is not correct in case of revision made by CIT? Not correct बोला वो, not correct. CIT under 263 can revise order of AO on the basis of valuation report which was received after completion. That's correct. All evidences are allowed. Manju Natheshwar Packing and Camphor Works. CIT can revise the order of AO on all matters except those which have been considered and decided in appeal. Right. Other matters 263 बोला ना, allowed. 264 बोला होता तो ना बोल देता. Commissioner of Income Tax can revise order of AO up to 2 years from the end of the financial year. Yes, that's the correct time limit. We are supposed to find not correct. अभी एक ही ऑप्शन बचा है. Only one left. AO completed the assessment without initiating penalty under 270A. Commissioner of Income Tax under 263 can set aside the order of AO and direct him to pass the order of assessment after initiating penalty. The CIT appeals does not have the power to set aside. So this is incorrect. And thus the wrong answer, wrong statement, the right answer. वो क्या बोला? Wrong statement ढूंढ के निकाल. They are asking you to find out the wrong statement. This is the wrong statement, so our right answer. Question 14. Which of the following statement is not correct? After revision of order of AO, not correct बोला वापस. Pay careful attention. Not correct. After revision of order 263 revision 264 is not possible. Correct है. If 263 is done, 264 is not possible. Correct statement. So, wrong. Same matter or other matter, not possible. If assessee makes an appeal to CIT appeals, revision under 264 is not possible for that assessment year on any issue. Correct statement. 264 not allowed. ITAT can state demand for maximum 365 days including extension. Correct. Correct statement. Wrong answer. ITAT cannot amend its order. ITAT can make rectification. Change in opinion is not allowed, but rectification हो सकता है ना. Yes. Wrong statement. Right answer. Which of the following statement is again पूछा not correct? पूछा not correct. Against order of revision passed by CIT, no appeal is possible. Non-appealable. Correct statement. Wrong answer. Against order of settlement commission, no appeal is possible. Correct statement. Wrong answer. Against order of AO passed under 143 on basis of DRP, appeal shall lie to ITAT. ITAT only, no? DRP का order ITAT. So correct statement. Wrong answer. Assessment under 143.3 and 144 is possible only if the assessee file return. Rubbish. Best judgment का मतलब best judgment का नाम सुना है? Wrong statement. Right. Right answer. Which of the following statement अभी बोलता है correct statement ढूंढ के निकाल. Which is correct statement in the following? Revision under 264 is possible if the time limit for filing appeal to CIT has not expired and assessee has not filed an appeal. Agar time limit of CIT appeals has not expired, then we will prefer an appeal. We will not go to revision. Wrong statement. Revision under 264 is possible on issue which have not been raised. कोई दूसरे issue पे भी not allowed. Revision 264 can be refused even if assessee has repeatedly admitted concealment. Just because you have done concealment in the past, does not mean that you are a chore now. So wrong. Revision under 264 cannot be prejudicial. It में हमेशा tax कम होता है. You cannot increase the liability. It cannot be prejudicial to the assessee. Assessing officer passed an order under 143(3) for assessment year 15-16 on 30th Jan 2017 and allowed deduction under 36(17)(17)(a) foreign exchange fluctuations on 31st December 19 and added new incomes not disclosed other than this. 147 के अंदर मतलब scrutiny order was passed on this and then 147 के अंदर added other income other than these incomes, then 263 can be done up to what date? देखो, any matter which was taken up in reassessment, उसका time limit is going to be from reassessment order. But when the reassessment was done on other than the matters which were there in the original, other matters मतलब reassessment done on other matters, तो उसका जो reassessment, उसका जो revision करना है 263 में, that cannot be taken from the reassessment order, it will be taken from the original order. कहने का मतलब we are talking about Supreme Court judgment of Elegantron Finance Limited. Matters in scrutiny, some of them went in reassessment. Whatever went in reassessment, revision का time limit will be from reassessment order. But whatever does not go in reassessment, उसका time limit will be from original order, and thus the original order was passed year 31st March 16-17, and thus reassessment order has to be revision order has to be passed within 2 years, 31st March 9th. Assessment of ABC Associates LLP for AY 1920 was made under section 143(3) on 31st August 2020. AO made 2 additions of income of the LLP: disallowance of 3.25 lakh under 40A for non-furnishing of TDS evidence and addition of 7 lakh of unexplained investment. So, 2 disallowance. The LLP contested the addition on account of unexplained investment in appeal to CIT appeals. Appeal was decided in Jan 21. In Feb 21, they ask your advice in the course of action regarding 40. मतलब unexplained investment we have already contested and decided. Appeal is decided. Now what about the TDS? What is the available course of action? Can you do 264? एक बार एक matter भी अगर appeal में चला गया, then whether same matter or other matter, 264 not allowed. But if it is apparent mistake, rectification will be allowed. This is not allowed. Revision also cannot be done. So we can go for rectification under 154. We can go for rectification under 263 can also not take place. That is only if it is prejudicial to the department, prejudicial to the government. So 263 not possible, 264 not possible, only rectification is possible if it is apparent mistake. Next chapter. Why I am doing this chapter? 2 घंटा हो गया तो भी क्यों कर रहा है सर? सर सुनो, इनकम टैक्स सेटलमेंट कमीशन इज अबॉलिश्ड. इंटरिम बोर्ड हैज कम फॉर टेम्पररी पीरियड और डिस्प्यूट रेजोल्यूशन कमिटी बहुत छोटा पार्ट है. ओनली ऑन दैट आई हैव सम MCQs. दिस विल सर्व एज अ रिवीजन ऑफ dispute resolution committee and interim board, and thus I am going to finish this fatafat. It's only a revision of the theory. Interim board shall have how many members? Every interim board will have 3 members. They will be of the rank. What will be the rank of interim board? Not below the rank of CCIT. In members of interim board are divided on any point. How will they decide? We will be deciding on the basis of majority. On the basis of majority we will be taking. ये theory का revision है. This is an amendment इसके लिए. Pending application for the purpose of settlement will be, you had filed an application with ITSC up to 31st January and it was not declared as invalid. So application was made, application was not declared invalid and order was not passed, all the conditions fulfilled, then that application will be submitted to the interim board. The procedure to be adopted by interim board will be exactly same as what ITSC was doing, same procedure. Application can be transferred from one interim board to other interim board. Who has that power? CBDT can transfer. Application can be withdrawn if, listen, when they brought interim board, they give you an option. You have filed an application at ITSC, withdraw within 3 months. Otherwise, we will give it to interim board. So if it was pending with ITSC, we can withdraw within 3 months. Application made to ITSC and pending on 1st February can be withdrawn within 3 months from the commencement of Finance Act. DRC shall be constituted. Now DRC का question आ गया. DRC shall be constituted by the central government. The option of taking dispute resolution is compulsory or optional? That dispute resolution is optional. Only if the income is up to rupees 50 lakh. The returned income should be up to 50 lakh and the variation proposed in your income should be up to rupees 10 lakh. Income up to 50 lakh and variation proposed up to 10 lakh. DRC shall not consider application if you are a case of search, survey, requisition or any information received under bilateral treaty, these people are not allowed to exercise the mechanism of dispute resolution committee. And DRC shall not consider an application in a case where there is violation of all these laws, Indian Penal Code, Corruption Act, money laundering, Benami transaction, all of the above. The DRC will not consider, because it's actually, honestly speaking, these MCQs are only to do a revision of the new theory that has come, the concept of DRC. Nothing new or great I have done with you here. So that is the reason I wanted to finish up this chapter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that marks completion of your day's class. We finished MAT, and in volume 2 we have finished 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, the whole chunk of assessment, and including settlement commission also we have finished. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Have a good night. Enjoy yourself. See you tomorrow for one more episode. Bye bye.